Tell them about the business that you do, the service that you offer, the office where you work. You just never can tell what will happen next. Oh, please shake them very well. I want you to smile because you never know who's going to be the next governor, the next president, the next minister. Please smile. I don't want you to leave this conference and see them on the road tomorrow and say, Madam, 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 we are at that conference together. No, please. I will want you to address them properly. So please do want to ask their names, exchange contacts. Feel free. Please, also want you to take my contact. It could be your president tomorrow. You never can tell. Exchange contacts, smile, but above all, be relaxed. This is going to be like a family meeting, right? Where we are going to discuss, where you are going to gain value. Now, today would not be possible without us having a visionary, of course. We all know that, someone sat down, thought about this idea and say, you know what? It's time for parents to go digital. We are in a generation where teenagers are fast. Believe me, everything they do is on their phones, on systems, and they're just here 24/7. If you separate a teenager of this time from their phones, you know how moody and grumpy, and they begin to feel like, oh, mommy does not love me, daddy hates me, and stuff like that. They are here. We cannot literally separate them 100% from being digital, but there are things that we can do, and that is why we are here this morning. Now, someone sat down, thought about this workshop and say, you know what, let's put together a workshop for parents, for guardians, teen mentors, and let's talk about how best we can come in to see that our teenagers are safe online. No other person than Coach TJ Chunu. Please put your hands together for him, bigger and better. I hope he's here. He's in the hall this morning. He's moving around. Coach TJ Chunu have changed. But then, if your dad should virtually see you on the road, your shadow alone is what will disappear and leave your body. Your shadow will tell you, I'm at home, in case they are beating you. They should not beat the shadow, beat only the body, right? But see, times have changed. So parents, I sincerely, from my heart, celebrate you for being here. Now, Coach TJ Chunu, he's here. He's going to do a briefing for us this morning. Can we put our hands together for him, bigger and better? The man who took his time to say, you know what, let me call parents and teen mentors together. Oh, is that how you're going to clap for someone who put this up? Bigger and better, please. Bigger and better, bigger and better. Thank you so much. The #1 teen and parent coach, digital for that matter. He's looking so digital, isn't he? Please put your hands together for him. Thank you so much.
Woo. Good morning, everyone. Now let's do it like a digital response. So a digital response is going to be lively, it's going to be on point, it's going to be loud. So good morning, everyone. Good morning. Awesome. A big thank you for joining us today, and for those watching online, welcome on board. For those of you here, probably during the event, we're going to share a link so that you can tell your friends that we're live online in Benin. But thank you for making we have really never seen people stand up, your children stand up, even though, yes, there are other ways to reward, but we've never really seen people stand up to celebrate these people who do such an amazing work. So what I want you to do, if there's anything in your hands, please drop it. What I want you to do right now, celebrate yourself as though the world is celebrating you. Thank you. You can do it for you. You can do better than that. It's for you. Somebody just love on yourself and celebrate yourself. Tell yourself, well done, I'm doing well. In fact, tap yourself on the shoulder and say, you are doing well, you are doing well. I want to join you to celebrate you and say a big thank you for holding on strong through the challenges of parenting, through the evolution of parenting as well. And thank you for not giving up on the next generation that we are raising. Thank you very much. Please sit down. And I hope those of you watching online, you did that to yourself as well. Now, there are two words, digital and parenting. We all basically know what parenting is, and then for those of you who don't know, welcome on board. We have seasoned speakers that will be taking us through a journey. They are all around and will be in shortly. But here we are thinking of the concept of the idea of how to use technology to parent better, knowing that technology has somewhat disrupted our daily living. So the average person today has something in his ear, and I guess you guys have seen people just walk and talk to themselves. Have you seen that? I was like, are they okay? Imagine some years back, you just see somebody in the road. Yes, no, do it like this, like this. The next thing you'll be thinking is to say, psychiatric hospital, that this will not off. You know, but technology, people have their earpods and their ear, and they are just figure. How much does Bill Gates earn daily? You can try Mark Zuckerberg or any of the names, or even Elon Musk. Who can give me a quick figure? It's about $10 million. Has anybody seen that? $10.95 million. Please divide that by 24 hours. That should be about $400 and something thousand. Yeah, you guys are like, this guy no book, right? He's just calculating these things in his head. I know book. I read it before. So that's about $400 and something thousand if you do that by 24. Now, Bill Gates is, how much was it? $416,000 per hour. You want to take it to seconds anyway. But now see this. Those of you want to raise your hands. Now see this. How that you are parenting, and thank you for coming. God bless you.
Oh, please put your hands better together for Coach TJ. To all parents and guardians who are just coming, thank you so much for being here. I sincerely appreciate you. Do not fret. I know you are wondering, what's the board for? Are we writing tests here? Please relax, relax, relax. The parents who are just coming, we welcome you. You've not missed so much. We'll try to have the media team play the clips again so you get to see what's going on. Again, please turn to your neighbor and tell them you are welcome. Oh, parents, please louder and better. Tell them you are welcome. Okay, so we're going to be doing something. I wish we had like, a more full house, but I wanted to share it into, 2 teams. But what we're going to do now is going to be general classwork. Say general classwork. When you tell your children, you go to school, you must come up with first. Let me act like a proper teacher. Are we together? All right. This class is so quiet. I wanted to say someone should write a list of noise maker, but the class is so quiet. I will adjust, don't worry. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's make this 20. Okay. Can we all say the board clearly? Are we good? Your time starts now. Someone says, someone just said that she's going to score 0/20. Come on, try. Okay, so I'm going to be calling it media. Do we have soft song? I should sing. I should bring out my singing skills. Okay. Chineke idmao. Okay. Calm down, everyone. Now, this is not even all, right? I just wrote 20 here on the board. I'm hoping that your parents will score 10. Let's see how digital you can be. So the first one I wrote is F2F. Second one is 143. Third, in my class. You want to buy popcorn for everybody? GTG, FYEO, IWSRN, WTPA, no spine, no side talk, PAW, MOS, PIR, IU2U. We also have NIFOC, OC, GYPO, LMIRL, TDTM, HAK, P911, WYCM, NAGI, and AFK. Let me give us, let's see, 10 minutes. There's this student of mine that is just discouraged. This student, why? What's going on? You didn't take a motivational cereal this morning? What's going on? At least, someone should get at least 10, right? 15? You didn't even get 2. Hey. I should have brought the digital anointing oil and anointed every one of you this morning. But you see, this is not even all. This is just some. Well, being a teen's best friend, I actually know what this is, right? So let's try. I could give you, should I give you expo? See, parents! Is this how you encourage your teenagers? Really? Not at all, not in my class. Finished at all. Anybody got like 5? These students of mine. Let me wait. Yeah, everybody close your eye. Ask the Holy Spirit for inspiration. Holy Spirit, inspire me. Father, inspire me. Teach me what to write. This exam I must not fail. I must not get carried over. Try. So you see these things, teenagers use it to chat a lot. And you're wondering, you hold their phone. You're just seeing these things. You're wondering, now, what is this? What could this be? I'm here to spill a little this morning. All the faces I'm seeing, like this lecturer is a very wicked one. Madam, why? Anyways, are we done? Yes. Let me see your book. You know when we're in school, university especially, and you're writing, the lecturer will just come. Let me see, open it. Carry over. Let me see you, open. I will see you next semester. Is that what's going to happen here? Okay, that means I'm going to DOS, that over shoulder, right? Okay, so PIRO. Out of my class. Out. Are you a teenager in an adult's body? What do you... Okay, you're a teen coach. Oh, nice to meet you. Now we're talking. So in IRL. Oh, where is that student of mine? Please clap for my students. Okay, so I've been told that we're going to have this course carry over because you did not read your books. We have for us, and she's going to be talking to us about Young. She's the founder of Young and Safe Online. Her name is Ogali Akpobome. Please put your hands together. Begin. Can I have an usher help us move this board? If you miss this class, you're going to buy my course on Teens Secret Code. You will buy the course. You will be here next time to sell for 1 million naira. So, class over. I'm a good lecturer. Am I not a good lecturer? Clap for me now. Okay, so we have Ogali Akpobome online. Please do also listen, and you'll be given the privilege to ask your questions later on. Thank you so very much for being here. God bless you, and I'm still with you. All right, now.
Hi everyone, do you hear me? Hear me? Then let's try get on my video. Right, if you can hear me and you
Hello,
can see me.
We can hear you clearly. Can you hear us as well?
People. Excellent. Hello. How are you?
Good to have you. Please put your hands together for everyone.
Great. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. You know, I'm just here for a conversation with all of you. The thing that brings us together, what legacy we're going to leave behind. I'm so grateful that you came, parents, teachers, speakers, enablers. So grateful. I'm going to end just a few minutes of conversation with you with an experience I had last night with a mother and child from Saudi Arabia. But what's the enormity of the issue we face today? So take any baby boomer, Gen X, even Gen Y. What we did in our secondary school, nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's your father's old friend or your auntie who says, oh, this is what your mother did when she was small. That's it. There were no digital footprints. We are faced today with a scenario where even newborn babies have digital footprints everywhere. Look at the statistics. It's mind-boggling. The rate of cyberbullying and constant suicide. A young man in the US killed himself because of cyberbullying and extortion by two guys in Nigeria. Prostitution and the use of children for sexual exploitation has increased because of nefarious online activities. So if we look at the scope and what we're dealing with here, it goes beyond cyberbullying. Of course, we all know, even the other day, my gate man was in Nigeria, was a victim of cybercrime. So we all see identity theft. We see the dimensions around online security, online safety, deep fakes. Recently, someone was extorted using the child's voice to get money from the parent. We're looking at this in multifaceted dimensions. We're looking at learned helplessness. ChatGPT coming to spoil education, not allowing our children to use their brain to think, getting answers off the internet. In those days, we used to go to physical libraries to read and get information. Now, people just go Google ChatGPT and that's it. Generative AI. So we look at the future and we say, what will it be for our children, for these precious ones in this age? Recently, a young man was supposed to be inducted into community. He was not inducted. Imagine, comment made several years before, spoiling his future. And we have people who are online every day, chatting up and down. In my former life, about 20 years ago, I was an IT administrator. I did backups. We'll back up what's happening from the current device to a secondary device to tapes. And so even if you type something and you delete it, it never goes away. The internet never forgets. So we are dealing in a scenario where there is the huge explosion of information. The World Economic Forum says, what's the world's #1 challenge right now? It didn't say the was. It said the proliferation of misinformation, dissemination of wrong information. That's the number one crisis that the world is dealing with right now. And where does this stem from? Online again. So we have our children exposed to things we were never exposed to, in dimensions that we never encountered. And how do we become these savvy parents and savvy teachers in the digital age? When we ourselves, we are fascinated by what's going on. We want to see, we want to learn, we want to take up all the information. Absentee parentism, and even with teachers. The child is using the device, facial recognition. People begin to offer, the threat actors and the threat players online begin to offer the child the things that you would never want them to see. Why? Because you're on Instagram. You're getting entertained yourself. You're searching, you're looking, you're absorbing information. Children increasingly, and you would agree with me, the age at which children are getting mobile phones now is reducing for those that can afford. Why? Because the mobile phone becomes a baby. Your child, the kids as little as one, getting addicted to the mobile phone, sleeping and making gestures as if they are scrolling. And some of them end up with permanent brain damage. We will hear from speakers today. We will hear from coaches and teen mentors. But I'm here to ask, and to ask ourselves, because we're in a journey together, and to challenge ourselves and say, what kind of parent will you be? What kind of teacher will you be? What kind of teen will you be? What kind of adult and supporter will you be? How will you help a child secure their future? This is what it is about. How do we help them make sure that in this digital age, they're able to preserve and secure their futures and make the best of the options available for them? If we can help and teach them that the internet is not just for amusement, it's a productivity landscape. There's a lot of people talk about Nigeria 419. We can change the narrative. We're not born to be 419s. We were born to be tech leaders, innovators, the people at the forefront of the tech transformation. That's what we're meant to be. It's a good place of us. How can we make sure that we are part of those who are changing? I'm here to ask questions. And we do differently as parents. Lead the public must do. Yesterday, I met a woman and her son, and she was just, to me, the example of a watchful parent in the digital era. I asked TJ to send the picture of this young man, and the woman kept telling me, I don't know. I said, tell me what you know, ma'am. They're both from Italy. They live in Saudi Arabia. And she said, when my child was 3 years old, he began to break locks. He locked up everything. He could, and I said, there's something with this guy. Front of a program, and the start expose him to tech. At the moment, he is 13. He is a world-renowned certified ethical hacker. He's using his tech for good. He's going around the world inspiring people, and he was in Dubai yesterday to speak to Black Hat Middle East, a meeting of all the hackers and people who are on the good side of the defensive hacking. He came to speak to them in the Middle East about what he's doing. This is a child whose mother keeps saying, I don't know what he does, I don't know what he's talking about, but I know he knows a lot about tech. And I know that as a parent, it's my mission to help him do right with tech. Are you going to be the one who would listen in, who will watch, who will use the tools that are being shared, who will say, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to make sure that I help my child, my ward, the young person around me to make the best of tech. Let me end on this note of opportunity. The world is currently suffering from a gap in the cybersecurity space. The world is in dire need of people in this space. 3.5 million jobs are required. Where are the people? And these are our young people who are tech savvy, who just need to be trained. So I'm grateful to see programs from people like Dr. Feb, who's bringing things to educate and inspire young people. The gap needs to be closed. Our young people are skilled. They need to be taught, and the people to teach them are right here in the room. They're you. So once again, I want you to put your hands together for yourselves. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the start of this revolution. And we look forward to how we can partner together in future to help our children, our youths, our people stay safe online and be the very best that they can possibly be. Thank you so much.
Is that all you can do really now? Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. So insightful. I hope we learned, right? I told us that we're going to be learning a lot here today. And I also mentioned earlier that it's going to be more like a family meeting, so relax. We're not here. I know that I brought my board and my marker and all of that, but just relax. Now, you heard all she said. All right. Thank you, sir. 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 Are we good? Yes, we are. Please, once again, put your hands together for yourself. Now, I can see faces smiling. I sincerely, do you know what happened while she was speaking, right? We had some of our resource persons, not small ones at all, walk into this hall. Please stand up. Everyone, celebrate our special guests for the day. Please put your hands together for the distinguished, beautiful, oh my God, I've seen her online severally, but you know, I've just been looking, really, really, really beautiful. Should I spill or allow Mr. TJ do the honors of introducing Madam? Please come. Quickly, 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 quickly. You can't take his beauty for granted. Please come, please come. Okay, don't be afraid. This is our coach. Stand, breathe in and out. Before we say thank you to Coach TJ, you know, do you know what it means to bring Coach Wendy here? Are you serious? Are you joking? Come on, put your hands together for Coach Wendy. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Are we done? I was just whispering to him and you're done. Coach Wendy, God bless you and thank you so much for coming. We're truly honored to have you here, ma. Thank you so much. Now put your hands together for her once more. Are you tired of standing? You can't. The international parenting team, they are here. They've come to touch ground. See the way they are scream some more. Let Benin know who is here. All right, thank you so much. Now, we see, you know, we don't get to see great men and great women every day, right? We saw a man that came in here, and I was just wondering, sir, you came here and you were bending like this. Why would you bend like this, sir? No, Bishop, Dr. Feb, we should bend. Everybody bend. Everybody bend, please, bend. Like really, really. Thank you so much, sir. We are sincerely grateful. Thank you so much for clearing your schedule to be here today. We do not take it for granted. You are a father and you sincerely have us at heart. Thank you. We are sincerely, sincerely grateful. Put your hands together for him. Still wait. I'm the one in charge of the mic today. Now, also here we have with us the Edo State Ministry of Arts and Culture, the Commissioner for Arts and Culture and Tourism, Mrs. Uyi Malaka. Please put your hands together for her. Such a beautiful woman. Ah, please, put your hands together for her. Now this, come. You know why I called him here? I remember when we started planning for this particular workshop, I was like, God, we want this to work, we want this to work. I want everyone to just say a big thank you to Coach TJ again. Can we? He could really have decided to say, you know what, I'm going to chill and do the best I could do, but he has parents in mind, and he has decided to bring everyone, the who is who, when it comes to teen coaching, parenting, and say, let's educate, let's give back to parents. Let's help them become, the parents that they really want to be but don't know how to be. So put your hands together, better and bigger for him.
And good morning. I want you to please, one more time, I like the vibe. There was a digital vibe from this side. The vibe here was kind of analog. Yeah, so I'm hoping we can send the digital vibe to this side. Yes. I feel very honored. I feel very honored to have 3 out of so many guests, or 4 already. Yeah, the first just spoke online. And for those of you who don't know, that's my immediate elder sister. So she read computer science from the University of Benin, and I followed her footsteps. I read computer science. And I was proud to say that was my sister, because anytime they heard the name, they're asking, are you Ogale's brother? And, the Bible talks about a good name is better than so much. And so her name was opening doors for me. Thank God I don't have a junior there, because I'm wondering who's... Anyway, my name opened doors, for my classmates. But I want you one more time, with all the love in your heart, to help me celebrate our amazing guests who are here and the ones online. Thank you so much. Coach Wendy is the biggest. And this is not exaggerating. Do you want the lion to roar? This is just how much we love you. She... in dollars. So just to say thank you for coming, and for those of you who don't know her, please go and look her up. She's the biggest parenting coach in Africa. Also, now when you hear someone hear a thing without an invitation and shows up, it shows that the person believes in what you're doing, possibly more than you, because you didn't invite and the person came. And the person is saying people need to hear this. So you guys weren't fair with your celebration. So we're going to do it the digital way. Yeah, she is the commissioner for arts and culture at Edo State. Such a beautiful role model. Please celebrate Mrs. Uyodu Amalaka. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. And finally, my mentor, my big brother. Should I ask Daddy when they... when he came in, he was bishop, and then he now put on his cap. I said, this is a digital bishop. Please help me celebrate Bishop Feb Idahosa. Thank you. And finally, my elder sister is the reason I don't have hair here. When we were young, our parents fed us two to a plate. So I had 2 elder brothers. They were guys that could flow. I had 2 extreme younger sisters. They were ladies that could flow. Then in the middle, it was me and my elder sister. And then, as a guy, I have to ensure I go ahead. When eating, I go ahead. I eat ahead so that she that is eating, we know that the food is safe. You understand that? She will now draw a line in the middle of the rice. And say, if you finish this side, it's your portion. But when mommy was serving the food, there was no portion. She just put it for 2 of you, Abi. Eat as you can. So I finished the one she said was my side. In my eye, my side still extended. And I started eating into my side, that is in her side. And the next thing, she took her spoon and hit me on my head. Boop. Anytime she sees me eating, she'll be hitting my head. Today, hair is not growing here. But the good thing is that every time she was hitting it, she was hitting wisdom into my head. So please help me celebrate my immediate younger elder sister. Please, let's do it, let's do it. She's online, so let's Mojo. We have Mrs. Ucheze. We have Lucas, your seat is here. We have Lucas Dubo. Lucas, please move forward. Thank you. We have Black Man. Where is Black Man? We have Black Man. Thank you very much. Now, before we invite the Honorable Commissioner to give a goodwill message, I want to show you guys something. There's a picture I want you to project. Now, this was 10 years ago, 2014. And there was this, we called this a Step Up. It was a training program for teenagers. We gathered students around schools, and we came, and then one day was value orientation, the other day was skill activation. So we split them into groups, and they chose the skill of their choice, what they could resonate with. And this class was photography. And this guy was in that class. Somebody said this guy. Somebody said this guy. You're not saying this guy. Said this guy was in that class, and he learned. Funny enough, he went into the class because his friends went into graphics and all that, so he just wanted to do something different, and he went here. Today, somebody said that guy. Somebody said that guy. Please help me celebrate Mr. Osahon, who is the official photographer for this event. 10 years later, Mr. Osahon runs his own digital business. What's the name of your business, please? Can we celebrate him? Can we celebrate him? So tell us about your business.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Yes, so I have been a photographer for 10 years. It started as Toyj Media, which is kind of like a personal brand. I offer portrait and event services. On the other hand, I now have a separate space called The Atelier, where I now teach photography. So I teach photography. It's kind of like an academy. We still run regular studio services. On the other hand, we offer ourselves as a support system to photographers. So as I teach in, photographers can come to this space, rent to create their own body of work. Thank you.
Can we celebrate Mr. Osahon? Now, parents, there's so many things. This is a message on its own. There's so many things I would have said, but I want you to know that the seeds you sow are in pop sowing seeds. Right now he's teaching. I can go to rest. You got that? I got another teenager that sends me a message who's running an NGO training teens just the way I trained them about 10 years ago. It may not happen. I told my parents, we're 6 in the family, and I was that wayward child, and they literally took me around all the prayer houses in Nigeria. Oh, I love to tell this story. The time I would just fall so that pastor will leave me. Like, these guys, they are praying, they are casting. I'm not possessed. My parents are not just listening to me. Okay, let me fall now. When I fall, yes. God forgive me. But we did all that. And down the line, my parents are ministers in Church of God Mission. Thank you. I just put myself into trouble in Bishop Facebook again. Down the line, yes, you could call me minister, because I'm focused on teenagers, but down the line, I had a conversation with my parents, and I said this. The scripture said, train up a child, and when he is, so he could depart when he's young, but when he's old. Oh, you're just getting it right? So the focus of the parents should be the training. So what is the quality of the training we are giving our children? That determines the overall outcome of the life of the child. Just as it was for me, so it is for Sahon and so many others that were training. So parents, keep sowing the seed, keep doing what you're doing. But like this program really is to help us use technology to parent better so that we can raise responsible, productive, digitally responsible, productive, and safe children. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, with all the joy in my heart, please help me make welcome on stage one of Edo's finest. She looks like what she represents, right? She looks like a perfect artwork that is well cultured. Ladies and gentlemen, please do the standing ovation. Help me make welcome Honorable Mrs. Uyodua Malak.
It's always interesting. Please sit down. First, let me bring you greetings from my unimpeachable mentor, teacher, and coach, your governor. Home in this crowd for some reason. They brought me in and they ushered me right next to Bishop Feb. Not many people know that Bishop Feb and I were classmates in Emotan primary school. So every time we see, it's just, it takes us back to the analog days. Yes, nice to also meet Miss Wendy. I haven't met her before, but what an ovation. And just as I'm speaking, the commissioner of interested to my colleague. How are you, Commissioner? All right. For me, I don't think that I need an invitation to attend a function that clearly states what is addressing digital parenting. I'm a very keen, hands-on parent of 3 wonderful adults now. My first is 25, 23, and when we're talking about, oftentimes I hear people say, oh, no, they are very, this generation, but you know what, I'm really fascinated by Gen Zs. Because I think that we have a lot to learn from them. I think that we are not paying enough attention to what they are teaching us as well. So for you to be able to survive in their world, you need to be really intentional. Said in a lot of different ways, and you're dealing with that child in an analog form, you're not sending any message, you're not communicating. So we have to be intentional about the emotional intelligence that we're passing on, situational intelligence that we're passing on to our children. Most times the fault comes from us because we don't make the extra effort. We want to deal with new things as if we were still living in the old. So you come up with a lot of different complaints about what they are doing in a different form, but they are actually doing things their own way. They are existing in a different world right now. And I think that we as parents have to be, to try to take up extra time to become even more tech savvy because of our young children, our teens, our adults. The problems we're having in our society today is because we have failed to recognize the difference in the times that we are operating in. So when I heard about this event, I thought, oh wow. Like Charles from the Creative Hub here introduced me to it and said, oh, I'm trying to put something together. Charles, well done. We're trying to put something together. It's digital parenting, something to do with children. I was talking to him about bringing back our heritage through cultural programs for our children. And he said they were putting this together. I said, amazing. I would love to be a part of that. And that's why I set out today, cleared my schedule to say I have to be here. I have to be a part of what you're doing here. And I have to, thank you. I have to let you know that even though you may look at it like baby steps now, it's doing a lot already in our society. We are dealing with a lot of antisocial behaviors. And it's all stemming down from not paying attention. We need to be more interested in what they are doing online. We need to go to the sites that they go to. We need to, sometimes I say some things back to my children and they start, they slag me and say, How did you even know that word? But I'm paying attention. I'm surrounded by Gen Zs and very young, smart people all around me. So I am learning. I'm listening to what they are saying. I'm observing their body language because I know that it will help me improve in the way I deal with them. So I welcome you to the Creative Hub. This is one of those facilities that the government has also put every resource to make sure that we are able to attract our young ones in Edo and turn that energy into very, very positive things. Okay? So I thank you for putting together this amazing thing. And maybe from time to time, social development is. Invite us. We want to be a part of this. We want to give you a bigger platform to be able to do things like this. So I will be happy to collaborate with you next time. Thank you. For all the parents and the young people here, I celebrate you. I just want you to know that I'm so proud of you. And the governor is very, very pro-youth in every sense of it. Okay? So you have our cooperation anytime, any day. Thank you very much for having me, and happy deliberations, everyone.
Thank you, Ma. Please put your hands together for her bigger and better. Are we done? Come on. Thank you so much. We are sincerely grateful, Ma. Now, Ma, the truth is, whatever you are doing, Ma, let her finish hugging. I'm your lecturer. Remember, most of you have not passed my class. Ma, whatever you are doing that's keeping you this beautiful and young, you are going to share with me. I will graduate you from this class. How many of you have red nails here? Ma, show them your nails. See my own. So we're together, right? So whatever you're doing that's making you fit, she has a 25-year-old, 23, 21, looking like this. You really represent your office. Are we enjoying ourselves, really? She said something, and I quote. She said, most times the fault comes from us as parents, because we're not going the extra mile. And that's the truth. Sometimes parents complain. You're always on your phone. You're always pressing. You're not paying attention. I've called you several, you're not listening. Ma, do you know what your teenager is doing? Do you know the sites they are going to? And I'm so proud. Let me just say this. Once again, I want to say thank you to everyone watching. You are part of us here. We sincerely appreciate you. Put your hands together for those who are online. It's a digital workshop, so we have so many persons online. Now, even as parents, right? My mom will be 58 this year, and we have a family WhatsApp group. And sometimes when she throws some stickers, I'm like, who gives this woman these stickers, right? And we laugh about it. And we say something and she responds using the way that a 25-year-old will respond. And I laugh. And she's 58. But the truth is that as parents, we must go the extra mile. Opportunities like this for teenagers, please key in, dive into, and be ready to learn. There are conferences going on for your teenagers. Don't let them go to the store that day or just be at home. Tell them to engage. Now, as much as I am a Christian and I truly, sincerely owe my life to God and believe God, church is not the only place for teenagers to be. Do you understand me? Seek out for conferences, workshops. Okay? I believe we are learning. Okay, so there's so much we're going to offer you today. I'm about to call up someone who is so important. She walked in here while, Coach TJ was on stage. Can we put your hands together for her, please? Okay? Okay, all right, so change of plan. I'm a very observant lecturer, so let's roll together. All right, today we are going to be learning so much. Say so much. So much. Can we say it together? Let me ask again. Do you now know the name of your neighbor? Name? Oluchi? Hope you're not just calling random names. Because I told you when we began that I don't want you to go out and say, Sir, Ma, I saw you at that workshop. No. So do a proper introduction. The house is full now. Come on, exchange. Not just that neighbor. Talk to somebody. I told you I'm going to be your next president. Talk to me. Are we good? Okay, so we have a man who has dedicated his time to be here with us today. You know, cleared everything on his table and said, let me be here. Let me be here and talk to these parents because the family is one of the greatest units that God has created. Can we, with a standing ovation, please everyone, let's give honor to honor is due. Put your hands together as we make welcome Bishop Dr. Fabi Dausa as he takes us forward, educating the future. Put your, you want to repeat this class? Put your hands together for him, bigger and better. Please this way, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. He's really a digital bishop, looking so fresh. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. God bless you. Please have a seat. Do you have the, okay, that's there. Do we get it? The email? Did you get the email? Okay. But you got it, right? Did you get it? You got it, right? Okay, it came. Okay, awesome. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Good to see you. Thank you for having me today. Help me give a hand to TJ Chunu for having this wonderful program. And help me honor our commissioners who are here in the building. Please give them a hand one more time. Help me give them a hand one more time. And also Coach Wendy as well. Nice to meet you. Good afternoon. God bless you. Every time it's woo. Every hour. Okay, give a woo to yourself too. Woo to yourself. Awesome. Good to see you this afternoon. It's an honor to be here, and I'm happy for a chance to share with you a couple of thoughts. Just like our commissioner said, Mrs. Uyi Malakash, we went to school together in a Motown primary school. Okay, you know how when you're a child, the school seems so big, so huge. And you go back there and it's like, this is where we used to run around. So that's how, I went to school the other day because I believe in what we're talking about and what is being said. So I'm glad that you're here. Thank you once again for being here. And thank you for being a part of this chance to educate another generation and also to these parents. Thank you. I love what you said about just doing a little bit extra, going a little bit more, because we have to do that if the world is going to be affected. So thank you again. I believe also too we have some people here from CFI. That's Conservative International. Please clap for yourself, CFI. And then also too I have one of our schools here, Nathan American Academy is here as well too. Please give them a hand. Clap for your clap. I mean, if you don't clap, I will. Oh, there they are as well. Thank you so much. So I have a short presentation. I want to just share with you a few things. It's not very long. I don't like to talk long. I was told to speak for 3 hours, so I'll just take an hour and a half if you don't mind. So, just joking. All right, so I want to share a couple of thoughts with you about educating for a digital future. And please forgive me, I have to leave. I have a couple of things to do today, so I'm just going to share for just about 20 minutes. Hope that should be okay with you, all right? So here are my thoughts about educating for a digital future. In the year, okay, we're not quite there yet. About 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, my son, I have 3 sons, by the way, and a wonderful wife, Reverend Lori Hosa. Please clap for her. All right, so God blessed us with 3 boys. And a couple years ago, about 10, 11 years ago, my son walks up to the TV, okay? And he swipes to the right. Nothing happens. And he swipes again. Nothing happens. He turns around and says, Daddy, the TV is not working. You don't understand yet. Maybe because you got too old, that's why. Okay, that's because, you know, we're used to these devices right here. And so as a child, you just assume, of course, that everything around you works that way. So it swipes this way, swipes that way, things are supposed to work that way. But it didn't work that way. It says TV's not working. And it struck me for a second. I realized that this young man is what we call a digital native. Okay? Now, the next slide, please. Digital natives talks about Generation Alpha. We hear us talk about Gen Z. Everyone talks about Gen Z, Gen Z, Gen Z. Gen Z is nice, but the truth is there's another generation called... Let me tell you what I'm going to do, okay? All of my slides, I always give my slides free of charge, okay? So after the presentation, I'll give you the slides free of charge, okay? What I'll do, I'll make it as a PDF, and I'll have it available to TJ. So we can just, wherever, do you have a group, TJ? Is there a WhatsApp group for this or something? Okay, so I'll put the slides into a PDF, and you can get it there absolutely free. Someone say free. Okay, so it's yours. So don't worry about trying to take a picture. You can if you want, but I'm assuming you take a picture of me. So I'll just smile. Okay? All right, so anyway, my point is this. We're talking about a generation that's they're called digital natives. Okay, digital natives means that they're born in a generation that everything's digital. Every single thing is digital. So this young man can walk up to the TV and assumes it should be swipeable, but it's not. But the truth is we're getting there. Help me open that thing in a second. So children who are born after the year 2010 are called Generation Alpha. And I want to talk to you today about how do we educate this generation, because they have to be thought about differently from the way they are right now. Okay? So next slide, please. I want you to start thinking about that, because the world that we're in right now is a world of immersive education. This picture right here is a picture of a, give me that, thank you, of, what do you call this? What is this called? And it's about 3 years old, okay? But what you do with this is you put it on your face like that, like they have here, and then basically everything around you is immersed in you. So that means that everything you see inside here, if you turn left, everything you see there is inside the world. So you turn right, you see, it's like they create a whole world that you can see inside of here. So that's what I'm talking about when I say immersive education. And the way you interact with this world is you put this on. I don't want to put it on right now because I don't want to fall off the stage. You put it on, and then you use these to control it. All right? So you can actually walk around in that world. You can walk around. You can play games in there. You put on your face. There's a game called boxing. There's a shooting game. There's all kinds of different games. And the point is that when you put it on, the entire world around you is inside of here. And you can do all kinds of things. That you can fly an airplane. You can drive a car. And you see everything around you. Okay, now, I have that showed you that because the world is changing. I purchased this 3 years ago, and the way they talk about it, the way they talk about the education for digital world is this: that as you're buying something, okay, and taking it off the shelf, they're replacing it with something that's better, faster, stronger. And so the one they replace this one with is newer than this. I don't have another one, okay, but the newer one is this now. The newer one of that one doesn't actually cover your eyes. You can open your eyes and you can see both inside the world around you and in things. And my point I'm trying to make is this: that the world is moving to immersive education so that everything around you is teachable. Everything around you is touchable. Everything around you can purchase. Everything around you can use. So we need to start thinking along the lines of how we can train our children and learn in this world of immersive education where everything is something you learn from. And the world is moving so fast that you need to be in a place where you, as a parent, are also involved in educating your children with everything they see, which means that with every thought they have, you use it as a chance to educate and to teach them. Okay? So your kids will tell you, Dad, not again. Mom, not again. Another lecture. It's okay. Teach. All right? Now, I'll tell you the reason why that's very, very important is this. Because in this new world, you need to learn to be, as a parent, a teacher as well too. You cannot remain only in the classroom. You can't give the training of your children to teachers in the classroom only. Now, they spend the entire time of their week, 8 hours a day or more in a classroom. They spend the rest of the time with you. We say that the teachers are the ones who are responsible, but the truth is they have their part and we have our part. Okay, so I want to encourage you as a parent to please remember that everything around your child is immersive education. Can you say immersive? Education. All right, so while that's going on, there are 3 things I want you to teach your children. Next slide, please. I want you to start thinking about that, because on the slide there, I have a picture of a parent who was teaching a child how it used to be that you would teach a child with toys around them and things around you. But the truth is, you all know that your children would rather go and sit at home and play with a computer game or play something than play with the real things. So in my age, we used to run outside and play in sand or with sansan. Okay? But now, children get up and they're playing Fortnite. They're in these worlds. Everything around them is a world. I want to encourage you, if you can find people that will help to train them and create games, create things that they can use to learn to, please do that. But if not, make sure that you are involved in immersive education, which means that everything they do, you must help to get information. What does that mean? They don't need us to get information. They simply don't. Okay? That means that they, as you are talking right now, a child is on Google or TikTok and looking at what you're saying. If I say the world's population is 7 billion, they're looking right now, it's actually 8.1, sir. Which means they don't need me or you as a teacher to find information. But instead, what they will always need is you to help them understand and process information. Can someone say process? Please say process. Now, I'm not in church, but I'm saying use process. Thank you very much. To process means this, that you need to help them understand what it means. Because everyone knows what you know. They don't need me to tell them what to find, but they need me and you as a parent in this immersive world to help them process information, okay? So that's the first one, is teach them critical thinking, how to process information, how to think, how to understand, so that when we ask them questions and they say different things to us, we know what it means. That's what used to happen. What used to happen is this: they would ask, you would tell a child something, and they would say, my teacher said this. And they will argue with you for an hour because their teacher said that. Listen, though, it's changed in this world, because right now, it's no longer my teacher said. Pastor Kobe, good to see you, sir. It's now, I saw on TikTok, not even online, on TikTok. So there's a whole university of TikTok that's there. And you can argue all day, but if I saw it on TikTok and you are saying different thing, how do I learn to process what is different from what I saw on TikTok online from what is real? Because they will tell you and suggest something on TikTok, and it becomes what they're doing next. I can't tell you how many times my son, I said, okay, I want to try this experiment. Why? I saw it on, are we together? Are we connecting? So you must learn to teach them the difference between reality and TikTok or online. Now, TikTok is what I know now. I promise you by next year, there'll be something else that will sweep TikTok away. So all of you who are still on Facebook, don't raise your hand because you're old. If you're on Instagram, you think you are hip. You're also old. If you're not on TikTok, you're behind. I'm making a simple point, okay? That they're learning things that they don't need us for, okay? But what they do need to do, what they do need us for is this: teach them critical thinking, how to separate things, and how to, number one, process in an immersive world, okay? So the first point is critical thinking and literacy, and we must teach them how to process in an immersive world. The next point that you must teach your children is this: it's the point of collaboration and communication, okay? Next slide. We must learn to teach them how to collaborate. So in the old world, they would learn to do things together in real life. But now our children are increasingly isolated. Because I go home, even at school, I have a device that I used to work at school, but that device is still me and the computer. Me and that. And so the only time we learn to work together is maybe if I'm trying to cheat. I say, psst, how do I do that? So that's collaboration, but it's also the wrong kind of collaboration. So what I want you to teach your children in this world of immersive education is this, is teach them how to collaborate and communicate. They need to talk to each other. They need to work together. So please encourage them to play together. And in those play times, they will talk and they will share things. Okay, so don't keep them isolated. So if you hear that there's a children's party at school or in a parent's house, please encourage them to go, because it will teach them to communicate. In this world of immersive education, we need to help them to learn how to communicate and collaborate. You learn that in school. They're not learning that right now because they're being put into bubbles and silos. But I want you to please teach your children how to collaborate and communicate. This is what will help you stand out in this digital world, okay? All right, so the last point is one. It's very important. It's the one called social and emotional well-being. This will be cleaned up in another one. You must teach them social and emotional well-being. Because in this world right now, that's immersive education, okay, you will see children being bullied. You see children being told they don't matter. You will see online someone telling a child, go and do this to yourself, harm yourself, do all kinds of things. It's important that for us as parents, no matter how much this world is moving fast, I must teach my child, your child, that we need to, it's important your mental health is a new thing you hear about all the time, right? Mental health all the time. And it's true. Now, when we were children, there was no mental health. Now, did it exist? Yes, it existed, but not like mental health. You say, Mommy, I'm not feeling well. Shut up, sit down. What does the say? You didn't tell me you love me today. My friend King Zina says that the only time he heard his father say, I love you, they were in church, and the pastor said, tell your neighbor, I love you with love of the Lord. So that was the first time the father said, I love you. But now it's important that you tell your children you love them, because they don't hear it enough, and they want to hear it. This is part of their social well-being, their emotional well-being, okay, in this world of immersive education, all right? So 3 things, very, very simple. My time is finished. First one, teach them how to process in this immersive world. Number 2, teach them how to collaborate and communicate in this immersive world. And number 3, help them with their social and emotional well-being in this immersive world. Now, I know that the next speakers today will teach you about all these things, about emotional well-being, about collaboration. The point is very simple, though. This world that we're in right now, it's immersive. Everything is educational. You may not believe it, but every single thing they see, they are learning from. Everything. So I hope that you all see yourself in that world and be a part of it, so that as they learn, you learn. As you learn, you teach. And as you teach, we together become a better generation. Thank you for your time today. I hope this has helped you, and I pray that you will raise a better generation. God bless you, and thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, sir. Please put your hands together for him, bigger and better. And if you don't mind being up on your feet, thank you so much, sir. Are we tired, parents? Come on, shake your body a little. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, sir. We are sincerely grateful. Thank you. Now, Bishop said something. Can we all sit? Thank you. Oh, Bishop said a lot, believe me. We learned, right? Our notepad's almost full. Okay. Bishop said something. He said, use every opportunity you have to educate your teenagers. And now we know that aside the university you send your teenagers to, we also have the University of TikTok. We have the University of Facebook. We have the University of WeChat, we have the University of Telegram, and they pay their tuition fee. Right, they pay by subscribing. 5,000 naira, and they're in 4 different universities. 1,500 and in 5 different universities online. So you must be careful, and like Bishop said, use every opportunity. So right, guest speakers for today, they are really busy people. But it just goes to show that they have a heart for this thing, you know, called parenting. They have a heart for our children or for the next generation. It's with so much joy in my heart today that we are going to make welcome our next speaker. Would you mind putting your hands together? Bigger and better. Oh, we're not clapping. As we make welcome the Honorable Commissioner. Are you clapping your hands, please? Honorable Commissioner Christopher Omo-Oku, Edo Commissioner, Gender and Humanitarian Issues. It will please you to know that she's also representing the Amiable First Lady of Edo State, Mrs. Betsy Bene Obaseki. Please put your hands together for her as she takes us further, teaching us on the home. Please put your hands together with a standing ovation, please. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much, ma. Before I hand over the mic to you, I must tell you, you are looking beautiful. Thank you for being here. We sincerely appreciate you. All the commission, just touch me, touch my shoulder. There's something that's happening in Edo with all the commissioners that are filming. They're so beautiful, right? Touch me again, ma.
And you're so beautiful.
Thank you, too. Thank you so much. So please be ready to learn. Put your hands together for her. Thank you.
Good morning. Lovely and wonderful people. Please, let's be seated. I bring us warm greetings.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honored because I'm taking the mic from the First Lady because she's standing here representing the First Lady of Edo State. So please help me celebrate. You people don't know this woman, oh, and the woman she represents, two strong women in one. Please help me celebrate. Age.
Hi, Ogali, if you're online, good to see you.
If your phone camera is good, please bring it up. Thank you very much. Please, once again, let's appreciate the Honorable Commissioner as she steps out and Bishop Ferb as he steps out. Thank you very much. Social development, no other than Honorable Mrs.
Thank you. I brought you greetings from Her Excellency, Ade Mother, a woman with the heart of God, a rare gem, Dr. Mrs. Bestie Obaseki. She's unavailable accept today, but I'm here to stand it for her. And also, as the Commissioner for Social Development Agenda Issues. Our dear mother is very much interested in anything that has to do with the children of Edo State. And I particularly love proper upbringing. And as someone who is saddled with the responsibility to look out for not just children of the state, but also the most vulnerable in the state, when this program, we call him Uncle T, when Uncle T told us about this program, I was really excited because I know there is a huge gap between what is happening, where we are coming from, where we are, and where we are going. So programs like this are welcome to help shaping the way we think, so that what we've been used to, we can move from the old ways to the reality that is right in front of us. So as young parents or intending parents, it's very important that you learn new things, because the children you're going to be having, and the way you were bettered, maybe somebody will just throw a joke and say, Jesus was born in the manger, but I was born in National Hospital. So you don't expect a child that was born in the manger to behave like the one that was born in the National Hospital. They are two different words. Yeah, because the one you gave birth to in the manger woke up and the first thing he sees is the baying of a goat, right? But the one you born in the National Hospital, you open the eyes, what is it saying? AC is everywhere, the place is furnished and all that, doctors running around, computers all over the place. So they are everything. From the first day they see this planet is different. Their parts are different. So child come as a natural gift. It just come clean, with everything God has deposited in that child. But we, the parents, start changing them from the direction they want to go. And sometimes it becomes a friction, because some children will just want to be what they want to be. And parents are there insisting, trying to persist that this child must be this, which is very wrong. And I'll tell you that the key word, like I was telling Uncle T when he came visited me, I said, today I will have time for your child. And you'll be so much interested in whatever your child is doing. It might look strange as I'm saying it now. I say, what has love got to do with what we are talking about here? But it has a lot to do with it. It has a whole lot to do with it. That is just it. If we have the time to start analyzing that 4-letter word, you would agree with me at the end of the day that every one of us here have not loved ourselves enough. Talk more of giving. You cannot give what you don't have. Right? Children, you have a child. Because, you know, this orientation that I didn't study at all. I learned a trade, I do whatever. At a certain age, I'm supposed to be married. Now I'm married. The next thing is I need to have a children to show that I'm fruitful in my family and all that. Now you go around, God help you, you have these children are born. The next thing is I need to take care of these children. They need to eat. They need to go to school. And with the way the economic is biting on everybody, so I just need to do multiple things to make sure these children are okay. You don't have time even for yourself. You that don't have time for yourself, will you have time for another person? You wouldn't. I'm bringing this down because this is what affects us. I'm faced with challenges of women every day. They come around. And when I listen to complaints of young mothers, I just tell them, I look at somebody's face and I said, yesterday I was talking to a youth couple and I look at her. You are a mother of 2, you are serving. And at this age, you are barely 4 years in marriage and you say you want to leave this home. You are asking for sole custody of your children. You don't want to divorce, but you just want custody of your children. They will tell you, give me my children, let the man take responsibility. You don't have time for yourself. How will you have time? And I asked her, I said, you have 2 daughters. How are you going to have time for these children? You are with a man. You can't take care of these children. They come back. She's thinking of how to take care of these children. Will she have time to know what the child is doing with the phone? What the child is doing with the tab? Will she have that time? She will first of all think of how to, before you step your leg into a relationship, intending parent or as a parent, before you take that decision, first of all ask yourself, where am I in this? Because whatever decision you are taking is not just for you. It's going to affect whoever that is next to you. We need to create time. Let's educate ourselves. I want to beg us. Because men, we know, it's not, you don't expect your husband here. Even though we say we are in digital age, you know that a typical African man will not wake up in the morning and sit down in the house. It's a curse from this part of the world we came out from. Men are meant to go out there and get something to do. Even if the man is not working, he cannot sit down in the house morning till evening. He must go out. Because the man will always feel his pride is at stake if he stays at home. Is that not? Yes. So the man will go out. And you as the woman, if whatever that is coming from the man is not enough, you also want to do something extra to try to meet up with the needs of the house, right? Now, where the place of the children? How do you give them this time? How do you give them this attention that they need? How do you educate these children? You know, we are used to this. If it's an average family where the father, she's done cooking, she too wants to catch the trend. She wants to know what is happening, what is current. She's on her phone. Junior is also on his phone doing something. Mommy, what is he saying? Go and play cartoon. I've on something for you. Go and sit down and look and enjoy what you are doing. Mommy just concentrate on her. Oh, you don't know what is coming out, what Junior is watching. You don't know what is happening there. You are just doing that. Now you need to ask yourself, how should I balance this as a mother? Like I said, I say love is one. Do you know what I'm talking about mother? Because if I handle 100 cases in a week, 95 is women. It's rare before you see a man come to complain. Right? 95 is women. So if they bring petition, if I read all the petitions in a day, 95 is women. This morning, as I'm standing here, I have received at least 15 today. I have not treated anyone. But you see, as I'm just going through all the heading, petition against my husband, call my husband to take full responsibility for his children. In fact, sometimes I will just start laughing. I say, what kind of heading is this? Application for domestic violence. You know, my say is laughing. We see a lot, and I'm asking, I say, somebody is applying. So you need to just read and know what they are talking about. Is that bad? Application, my husband want to kill me. And there is one language they say, he will kill me and nobody will ask. Each time I see that letter, then I call them, I say, is there one particular place where they type this letter for these people? Because I don't understand. This language you always see, he will kill me one day and nobody will ask. It has become a friend, they will just put it there. Now, what is going on? What is happening in our society? If you have a home that there is love, children thrive well. You can, anything you want to introduce, anyhow you want to train your children, once there is love in a home, you'll be able to do it. See, let me tell you, you cannot take care of children, whether you want to guide them, digital parenting. If there is no love in the house, you cannot do it. Because when you want to concentrate that time, there is something that is boiling inside. The bottom line is, can we allow love to flow? Let's have homes that are built on love. Intending parents, I know there are intending parents here, intending mother, or young couples here. I want to beg you, for the fact that you say yes to that man, can you also sacrifice to accept? I'm not saying I don't support toxic relationships, right? This is not a relationship class, but I'm saying the root of the challenges we will see, why we will not achieve the desired result, is that their parents themselves are not okay. If you are saying yes to somebody, you should know that marriage is not a journey for one day. And I'm sure that the speakers here, she's a married person, I'm a married person, right? My first child is 16. So if I know that this journey I am entering is not something that I'm going for visit, you know, if you go for visit, that is not your house, you definitely go back home. So let's not treat marriage as a visit. Don't treat it as if I'm going for visitation. If I go and visit this brother, after 2-3 years, I'll come back home. If he's not okay, then you come back and say, Mommy, I don't go, I don't come back. It not be the person who not say it be. It's not like that. That is not what it is. Count the cost before you go in there. The challenges you see we are having in our society today is from the home, the family. It's from the family. We cannot have these children. We cannot have these children of our dream to live their full potential as God wants them to be if your home is not intact. You can't. Or is it the one of cohabiting? Somebody you cohabited with is in Benin. I was telling them, I said, since when I got into Benin, June 13th, when I was onboarded as a commissioner, that was when I heard the language cohabiting. I've never heard it before. Though I know it's an English word, right? But I never knew in reality what it means. It's only when I came to Benin and I realized that cohabiting is a serious thing. No, there is marriage. The one you have, there is cohabiting. So if you are asking me the types of marriages now, I will tell you there is one called cohabiting. Yes, there is cohabiting marriage because somebody will be in a relationship for 20 years. I don't know if I'm making sense to somebody this morning. 25 years. He said, I have 5 children. And when they are writing that petition, see, I cohabited with for 25 years. Sister, you are cohabiting for 25 years. No, 25 out of your age. How old are you? Then I look at the person, I look at his age that he quoted for me on. You just wasted this whole time cohabiting. And they will just realize suddenly, and I said, I want him to take full responsibility of his children. Feeding, education, health, clothing. They will be naming the things they want the man to do. Then I asked the woman, what will you be doing? We are the one causing problems for ourselves. Because this thing will not work. You cannot take care of children when you yourself, you cannot take care of yourself. It's only when I'm able to take care of myself, that is when I can take care of children. I am here, my children are not here, but I've spoken with them this morning. I know what they had for breakfast. I know what they're going to be eating for lunch. I know what time the lessons they are going to be going through today. I know everything they will be doing today. And in fact, with all that, everything they do that is there on my phone, my child, I'm able to monitor what my child watches on his phone, right? There are sites they dare not visit. But if what I did, if my marriage was cohabiting, I am alone with the children. Is it when I'm thinking of what they will eat that I will have time to know what you are watching? You wouldn't have that time. If you do the right thing, every other thing will also be right for you. When the foundation is destroyed, what can you do? What can you do? So those that have made the mistake, okay, let's try to see if they can make amends. But you that have not made the mistake at all, are you going to open your 2 eyes wide open and use your 2 legs and walk into this mistake? Is it not better you learn from other people? Would you want to experience it yourself? It is wrong. The only way we'll be able to fit into the lives of our children in this digital age is that love yourself, take care of yourself, so that you will know how important it is to take care of another. Love yourself to that point so that you know what it feels to take care of another. Because if you don't, you can't give what you don't have. It is not possible. We are so busy to that point that your child is trying to tell you, you are not around. This child obviously is back from school. He has been watching something. And you came back, he's just trying to come and, Mommy, if you see what I see today, the way you are seeing me, I'm very tired. I beg you in the name of whatever you believe. Just go and sit down. Allow me to catch my breath. Allow me to rest for a minute. Then we will not change. We'll use this common word we do in Edo. Allow me drink water, keep cup now. Hey. Today you tell the pikin, allow me drink water, keep cup. Tomorrow you say another one. Next tomorrow you say another one. Then the child know that Mommy is not interested in my word. Daddy is not interested in whatever I do. So I'm retired to my word. Let me just do my things my own way. Then when you see this child start behaving somehow, I say, where are you learning this thing from? This thing is not in my family. Oh. This character you are seeing is not in my family. I don't know that if you are not a good test with the father, I'm sure is this your useless father. It's in their family. Then the man will say, me. Come and check my house. We don't have anybody like this. And of course, when the children are good, the man takes the glory. But when they are bad, it's their useless mother. This stupid woman, she's the one that trained the children like this. Hey, but you were not interested when this child was very inquisitive. He wants to ask questions. He wants to know. Nobody was there. We sit down. She's watching porn on her phone. She's cooking in the kitchen. The food is getting burnt. She's not paying attention to it. Then the children will come. Why is Mommy watching that like this? You come and say, go away from here, don't watch. The child have grabbed. So when I'm reading petition, the man is like, I am tired of this woman. My children are learning negative things from her attitude. Tomorrow you will blame it on the government. Or you will blame it on who? The society is bad. Our educational system. It's very easy to throw blame. That is, people don't accept responsibility for what they have done. Obviously done wrong. It is very easy. What kind of content you as a mother, what do you watch? Or what? Because children learn fast by what they see, right? You are the example they are seeing. Forget what they are watching. If what they are watching, they are seeing a different thing around you, and you even give them that little attention to let them know, yes, this thing you watch, this is how it's supposed to be. You correct them in love. Not you just come, your own is to shout, vibrate. There are times you think you are correcting somebody, but you are not correcting that person. Because children they notice that a lot. When you correct your child in love, they will change. But when you are not correcting the child in love, you are only telling that child to be stubborn. You will increase the stubbornness. And most of us will now resort to beating. Every time the child commits that crime, you want to beat. He made that mistake, you want to beat. They will get used to it. So they will do the work and say, what can she do? How she will beat me now? If this bet is not enough, maybe it's that big bet they will use today. So they already prepared their mind, waiting for your beating. You beat, finish, you cry, dust it up. Tomorrow you will do the worst. Do you know it's all this, our parents' care-led attitude that make our children, the transition is becoming very difficult for them. Let me shock you. On Sunday, just this Sunday here, my house was bought down in the village. Everything. A very big house, 5-bedroom, all suites, was burnt down with my car parked. Did you know why they do that? They will say, gullible youth. Do you know why they do that? All these children, they carry phones, say they are Yahoo boys. They carry phone, they are watching one thing, they are on the street. Then you now tell them, there is a practice, there is something you are doing. It is evil. It's a cause. It's not even good for humans to practice this art. Can we modernize this? You cannot tell me that something you practice in the 16th century, this is 21st century, and they are telling you that this thing is wrong. See, do it this way. If not for anything, for the sake of your health. And some ancient parents will tell the children, say, for what? This thing is older. This thing is older than our great-grandfather. Why should government come now and say, we should stop this thing, we should not change it? And they're able to talk to youth that hold phones, young people that you think they are exposed, and they can stand up. Imagine that and go and set somebody's house on fire. You see, we are creating monsters gradually with our own hands. And if we are not careful, they will turn around to hurt us. So this training today is for us parents. What are you putting into your child? If you don't learn fast to adjust, tomorrow, the seed you sow will be up for you to reap. That is it. You will ask me, why did they burn down your house? Very simple. Government say harmful traditional practices should be stopped. One of them is widowhood practice, where somebody will die, they will lie the man that tell the woman, put pandy on the body, say, come and eat. If you say you are not the one that killed this man, eat this food on this man's body, we will know whether you are the one that killed the man or not. Apart from that, they will do the one they call, the one that caused that one, as they call it sky burial. Do you know what is sky burial? Sky burial is when somebody died, they will not bury the person. They will carry the person, go and throw to one particular place and believe that the person died, whether it's a witch or wizard. Animal will come and feast on the body. When rain fall, it will wash the remains of that body to the adjoining rivers. When these farmers go to the farm, they don't go with bottled water as you have it around you now. They don't even go with sachet water. They will still go back to those streams, fetch those water and drink. What happened to their health? And you know, Edo, we like bushmeat very well. Is that not? And we like bushmeat now. Let's not deceive ourselves. We like bushmeat. Eh? So all the bush animals, they will go there and eat. They will kill and bring for you, you will eat. So in other words, body, the remains, a corpse are supposed to be buried. It's not left to be. We use it to feed animals and you will eat those things. You drink from that water, the pollution, the whole place is messed up. And we say no. Nobody is saying you should not do your tradition. Practice. But you see, when this your so-called deity kill for you, take the body to the place. But when you get there, bury. Don't expose it again to save the living. Imagine people, is it not? Do you remember in this age, people still believe that they can punish the dead to hurt the living. Somebody that died, dead body, they hear word. Eh? Dead body, they hear word. If somebody is living, you cannot accuse that person of anything. Is it when he died that you can? Did you just see the level of ignorance? That somebody will tell you that this person, hey, you are alive, you are tormenting me. Now that you are dead, I will punish your dead body. What? Oh my God. Foolishness of the highest order. And when you're trying to change people from that reasoning, what did they resort to? Violence. No, it must continue. If we have parents that are enlightened, that could talk to these children, say, look at it. This thing is wrong. This is how it ought to be. Do you think they will go that extent? They will not go. It's coming to a point. You see, we in this digital age, we are coming to a point. You hear the alpha generation. We are coming to a point that all this time they will tell you that until you bring human part, Baba will do something for you. If you just press your phone, as it will enter one time, you make money. It will come to a point. This generation is going to say, what do you mean by that? No, that is not the way to make money. Use your head. You can be smart, but not involve yourself in criminality. You know they sure. My brother said they'll say sure. You know sure. Nothing like that. So we have a long way to go. There's so much work in our hands to do as parents. There is so much in our hands to do. Then you see some of us young mothers. Your daughter wants to celebrate birthday because you say you are digital, you are watching things online. You now go and carry pints and wear your daughter. Carry that clothes open everywhere. You are taking her for photo shoot everywhere. You forgot that 2 years old. They rape 2 years old now. 1 year, 8 months. Am I right? The current one was 2 years old. She was defiled on the 17th. In Benin here, not anywhere. 2 years, a baby that they just brought to school to say, come and start school. She resumed school on the 9th. On the 17th, she was defiled. So imagine, that one is school. Talk more of you. From childhood, as small as they are, you have started teaching them how to expose their body. Is that the one you learn on the internet? Why do we go online? Instead of learning good things, you are learning, and you will do the bad times 10. What you say on the internet is bad. Which English are we going to use to code that? Do we use the bad, bado, what? Baddest. So you are saying something bad, but in practical, you are baddest. Why? If they say guide your children, those are not the kind of guide we are expecting. Those are not the things. That is not be smart. That is not the way to go about it. Internet is very okay. For your child to be digitally aligned, it's very okay. But let it be in the right way. It makes life easy for all of us, is that not? Then we have online audience right now. Those days, who went to join you an online audience now? But life is easy. So teach them the positive part. Let them know that this thing, as good as, because of course, you know that when there is original, there must be counterfeit. The bad is also there. What are we telling ourselves? to help your children from this early age to grab the good aspect of it and let them know. Once a child know that this thing is good, but at the same time there is the bad side of it, and I'm expected to stick to the good part, you will see the way they behave. Let's not mix it. Let's not mix it up. Say, these children today, if you talk to children of nowadays, you can't talk to them. It's not true. You can talk to them. It's your fault. You are the one not talking. You are not even doing the right because you've not talked to yourself. Are you not seeing what our mothers are doing in the street of Benin? Somebody will wear is skin tight, not meant to be under your clothes. Auntie, as you are wearing gown now, won't you wear skin tight? So how will it feel that you wear ordinary that skin tight and come here now, wear top on it, wear high heel? As you see, don't come. Then you are walking in the street. What are you showing? So tell me, is that the mother that you say should correct the child? Mother that cannot correct herself. What correction is hard to give to her? And as you are doing that, you have a teenager, a girl of 10, 11, 12 years at home. And every day your daughter will see that you do not even wear pints. No pints, so only that skin tight. No bra again. You are just wearing that thing as you are walking. Everything is just dangling. And your daughter, then tomorrow when your daughter go and wear pints, go and drop that thing and say, but you teach her how to do this. You don't need to open your mouth. Say, no, she's... Or men, you go to the market. Belt. What is belt for another thing? Is belt for fashion? Is belt not to hold clothes on the waist? I'm sure most men seated here, you have belts on your waist. Why did you use the belt around your head if it's another fashion gadget? Is it not if you have trouser that is oversized, that the size is not stay, you use belt to make it firm on your waist? So somebody will use his hand, go to the market, buy, you are size 30, you go and buy 37. Then where you wear it, you wear that small thing you call boxer. It's not even boxer, those small one that is fine, and it will hold the shape of the third leg, your third short leg. It has a shape. It will, that one also have the shape. They put it there, then you wear it. As you are walking on the street, the trouser is here. He's using hand to hold it like this, it's going. Then everything is just dangling. What is all this? And you are a father. You have a son at home. What are you teaching the child? It starts from there. That is where it's starting from. Teach yourself. You cannot give what you don't have. Let your life just be that teacher in your home. Then it will be easy for you to correct them. You can't be saying A and you are doing B. Thank you, Pastor. I didn't know my pastor was here. You can't be saying A and you are doing B. Do the right thing. On your own, you do the right thing first. Then you can help these children. Then you can guide these children. What kind of site do you visit as a man? As a woman, what do you do? See, time will not permit us to go into other details. But I tell you the truth. The challenges we have in our society today. These children, sometimes when I get this complaint, I know these children are innocent. The challenges are you and me. You, the parents that God has put as guardians over the life of these children. We are the one misleading them. We are the one doing the wrong thing, not the children. It's not them. It's us. So let's talk to ourselves. Live here today to say, I will be a better parent. And if you are not yet a parent, say, you are an intended person, I am going to be a good parent when I have one. When I become one, rather. I will do the right thing. I will have time for my children. I will have time for my husband. I will have time for myself. It is possible. When you are climbing the ladder, it's one step at a time, not two. If we can do the right thing, we will have a better society. Some of us, we are having the challenges we are having in our different places today because our parents didn't know this well. They don't know. So you that you know, what excuse are you going to give again? What is your excuse? For not raising that child properly, for not guiding that child properly, what would be your excuse? What are you going to say? Because you will fail yourself before you fail another person. Don't ever come out and say, these children fail me. No, you are the failure, not them. If you have put them in the right way, will they fail you? Be interested in what happened around your children. Some of you don't know that your 10-year-old boy, son that goes to school, there is an 8-year-old girl that is interested in that your son. And he said, I love you. And your child come back and say, no, it's too small. Huh? What are you saying? Just 10 years old. Why will I be educating my child and telling him all this? No. You call sex education rubbish. They will start telling you, when you start your daughter, you want to teach her, educate her about her body parts. You don't want to use the right word. And so that, because since you are not using the right word, when that useless man from somewhere that want to rape come, it's the same way you used to hide. You will now use the real word, and your child's eyes will now be open. I say, hey, but this is not what my mommy told me. Oh. Tell them the right thing. Tell them. Mention the names to them and tell them, you say, this one is your own. Don't allow them to go and learn it from the internet. Start, so that when they see anything, they will be confident. Your children can trust you with any information. How many of us here do our children talk to us about what happened in their lives? If your child don't come back from school, 1 week past, your child have not told you anything, go and ask yourself, something is wrong with you. Obviously, you are not a good parent. That is how I know that I'm failing. If for 1 week I have not heard from my son to call me, mommy, look at what happened in school today. Me and my friends, we went for her birthday party. This is what happened. If I have not heard anything like that, something is wrong. It means there is something I'm not doing right, because it's expected that these children should be open to you as a parent. Yes. I was shocked to my marrow on my daughter's 8th birthday. That was like 3 years ago. On her 8th birthday, my daughter told me that when she gets to school, I bought things for her to give to her friends. You know, because the birthday fell on the weekend, so she couldn't invite her friends. She didn't even know we were going to throw a surprise party for her. So on that day, I was just like, the only girl in the house. I told my husband, I said, let's surprise this girl. Can we just take her out? I was asking, where do you want? She said, that today she just feel like going to Transcorp. So what will you be doing in Transcorp? She said she will swim. I said, after swimming, what again? She said, you bought me 1 or 2 things. I'll go with my brothers. She called just 2 friends that are close in the estate that we'll go with. And we all went there. She had fun. So on Monday morning, I said, it's not nice. Instead of her going to school and be telling the friends what happened over the weekend, at least while she's telling them, she should have something to give to them. So I bought that, and I followed her to the school to tell the head teacher that she had her birthday over the weekend. I would thought to give something, no matter how small, to celebrate her with her classmates. And we gave it to her. She shared it. After school that day, at that time, she was in primary 4, basic 4, they call it. Then she has a young boy who was in basic 5. Good looking, smart kid like her. So after school, the kid came and said, I have been meaning to tell you this, Ariella. And my daughter like, what is it? Say, you know I like you so much and I love you. I want you to be my girlfriend. And she said, okay. So I'm your friend already. We come to school, we talk, we play. Sometimes you ask me for my tab during the break when I'm doing something and I give it to you. So he said, no, I want us to take it beyond. Because when she was telling me, I was very keen. I was like, my eyes almost pumped out of the socket. I said, hey, Mogbe, it don't happen now. So the boy, if you see the language the boy used around my daughter said, okay, I'll think about it. I'll talk to you tomorrow. When she came back that evening, God, thank you. After eating, my usual way, come and show me. I don't know, there was something I was trying to do on my phone. I couldn't do it, so I called the older brother. I said, please, son, come and help me do this, because I know he's very good with codes and all that. I said, come and help me. I don't even remember the password. I say, you always forget it. Let me go to where you are storing your password. I said, I don't even know where. While we were doing that, my daughter came in, and I saw, their beautiful ball gowns. So I was saying, like, Ariella, come, I love this gown. This is what you use for your Thanksgiving. And I said, hey, mommy, I was meaning to tell you something. So what is it? He said, you won't believe what happened. So called the boy, said, then the boy gave her a toy. One small camera toy that if you put the paper inside, you put it like this, it will just magnify the whole thing. Beautiful. He said, he gave me this toy and he said he's going to be bringing many things for me. I said, so what did you tell him? He said, I told him I was going to give him reply tomorrow. I said, what is the reply you are going to give him? I said, so what do you mean? He said, that is why I said, let me tell you. What should I tell him? Now imagine if that girl don't trust me to tell me that. She asked me, what should I tell him? And I sit her down. There I say, I sit her down. You should know what will happen. And I downloaded a whole lot. So the next day, she was going to school with that confidence. She was just praying, day should break, let me get to school so that I can just face this boy. And in the morning, she went and faced him. I said, first of all, thank you for liking me, for coming to say you want me to be your girlfriend, but I'm too young for this. And I'm going to give you the reasons why I cannot do this. We are friends, but this is the reason why we can't do this. And I went back to the school, not mentioning the name of the boy to the head teacher, but I had to tell the owner of the school, watch out for these kids. Please, if your cameras are not working, make sure they are working. I want you to put an eye on these children. How many of us will our children go out and they will come back and tell you what happened in their lives? If you are a good parent, they will tell you. That is why they are watching something on their phone as you are coming. They will sweep it like this. They will have cartoon open. They will have another thing open. As they see that mommy is coming like this, they will just push that one aside, bring this one. So when you come, you peep like this, it's cartoon that is playing. The slide. By your mind, you think, my child is watching cartoon. Who tell you? They are just fooling you because you don't know anything. If you are interested in what they are doing, they won't hide anything from you. Everything that goes on in their life, you will be part of it. You will be part of their conversation. You will be part of their daily lives. Why are you so distant from your children? Why are you so distant from your son? Women here, you will say, he's a boy, the father, it is him and the daddy. The daddy will talk to him. Who tell you? So you cannot discipline your son. You cannot take care of your son. You are waiting for the daddy to come. I will end with this, please. Our people used to make a proverb. Talk no the full basket. It a full. So it doesn't matter how long we talk, but just know you need to work on yourself to be a better parent. Work on yourself. Love what your children are doing. Be involved in their life. Build this trust that your children will trust you to the extent that no matter the secret, anybody will tell them. They will come back and tell you. Don't trust those people around you too much that you just leave your children and say, not be one person they born picking. If you don't come out, if you dey belle, na be my own. As you don't come out, so now everybody picking. So now everybody picking. So hey, everybody picking. Somebody that will come and train your own child for you. That is the language you hear from parents. Even those that are educated, you know, this language is supposed to be for those are village mothers that in the morning they just wake up, carry their plate off to farm. But I'm surprised that in the city, educated moms, those that are enlightened, will tell you, say, "Na for belle be my own." It don't come out now everybody picking, so you don't have time for your children. Have time for your children. Create time for yourself. If you've not loved yourself enough, start loving yourself better. Love yourself enough so that you can share that love. Because that is the only thing that will bring your children to you. Gain their trust again. In that way, you can guide them. You'll be fully involved in their life. They won't keep secrets from you anymore. Thank you.
Can we all please stand? Everyone stand, please. Please, let me put my hand here. Let me hug you a bit. Thank you. Thank you. You know, when a mother speaks, you know, right? You know, right? Put your hands together for her. Thank you so much, ma. We are grateful. Wow. Can somebody say wow? Allow me to use pidgin. I believe fool. Right? Put your hands together for the Honorable Commissioner, Gender and Humanitarian Issues, representing the First Lady here. You know, God bless you, ma. Thank you. Put your hands together for her once more. And please be seated. Wow. I was sitting down at my end and I was just really nodding and nodding. You know, when Coach TJ came up, he said that she's representing the First Lady as well, right? So she spoke like two persons in one. She gave us, she served us. And this is where touched me. She has been emphasizing on love yourself enough so you can give love to your teenagers, so you can give love to your children. Everyone watching online, I hope you are following keenly. Thank you so much for joining. We sincerely acknowledge your presence and we love you and celebrate that you are here. She said, love yourself enough so that you also can give this love to your children. And do you know that there are some parents that don't love themselves, to be honest? They complain about themselves, they are not okay with themselves. And as much as you're also going to give support and love yourself enough, there's something I want you to do. Love your partner to a point that you guys are going to work as one, as a team. Because sometimes the mother is trying to say, you are spending too much time online. You are spending too much time online. And the father is saying, you want us to be as boring as you are. No. Do you understand? Sometimes the dad is saying, this clothes you're wearing is so exposed. The makeup you're putting on is too loud. And the mom is saying, leave him. We need to learn to work as a team. Fathers, mothers, teen coaches that are here, tell parents who come your way, work with. Oh, are we ready? Now, when I look at the screen, I say, God, I love this. Father, I tap Grace. Grace has come to meet me. God. Photographers, be ready. But once I call her here, we're going to take a proper photo shoot first. Then she will now impact, But today, God has blessed you, parents. God has decided to bless you with wisdom. Everyone on your feet, please, quickly. Because it's really about to go up. Oh, yes. Just clear you're going to scream your lungs out for me. With Jesus' joy in my own heart. Wait. With Jesus' joy in my own heart first. Let me first greet you, ma. Fortune is my portion. God, I am so redeemed to flourish in hard times. Can we all celebrate the phenomenon? Amiable, wise, calm, understanding, and a pace setter. Wendy Ologe. Your hands together for her, please, ma. Oh, you're not going to pay renting. She's so intentional. Please scream. Please scream. Please scream. Thank you so much, ma. You know when as teenagers you see your celebrities. Is this you, ma? Is this you? Oh, come on, please. Photographers, please, oh, please. Please. Thank you so much. Are we done? Everybody say cheese for us. We are said. You could have told us you were busy, and yes, we will believe because you're a very busy woman. We do not take it for granted. We sincerely appreciate you. And we know that...
Hello, Benin! Please be seated. Thank you so much for the honor. Thank you so much for inviting me here. I was listening to the Honorable Commissioner. Thank you, ma'am. And while she was talking, I was asking myself, what else am I going to tell these people? She has finished. She was entering some corners, and I was like, oh, more. Your homo was honored. Yeah, that's how you. All righty. Thank you so much, and you're welcome. I want to specially say thank you to TJ. I met the unusual TJ some 6 years ago when I was starting out. Benin has an interesting side for me. So I just met Bishop Febi Dahosa, and I was sharing with him that part of my journey was my connection with the Archbishop. So the Benin system for me is, I also have a father who's Benzini Dahosa is a father too. So of course, we're in our grandfather's place. All right, thank you so much, and God bless you. Today, I have been charged to speak on the power of intentional parenting. TJ did not tell me what to speak on. I chose to speak on the power of intentional parenting. I met TJ 6 years ago, and I've seen so much of the amazing work that TJ has done in the digital space. I've listened to him talk to parents about digital space. We run an online conference. He's spoken on that conference, severally. And every time I hear him speak, I come to the place where I know, like I have always known, that the problem is not the digital space. The problem is not tech. Our problem is not tech. Our problem is that we don't know what to do with tech. All right? So that's one of the biggest challenges that we have. So many times people tell me, oh, raising children in these times, this problem, oh, children in this time are not well raised, parents of this time are not good parents. I agree. But we're coming from somewhere, a lot. A lot. Our a lotness is a lot. We're coming from a place where we have been raised by a generation who were, I use the word confused, permit me. Our parents were not sure because they were also coming from war. They didn't understand a lot of things. So their trauma was traumatizing them. They raised us in that trauma, and all of us are here today. Now, there were also the set of people who were transitioning from the agrarian society to the industrialized society. So there was a lot of confusion. There were the ones that were told you go to school, you get a good job, and you become. For instance, I have a dad who was a principal of a school. And my father is also a businessman. But the business part of my father was a part he never wanted us to do. My father made money being a businessman, but of course projected himself as a principal of a school. Why? Because in their time, it was more honorable, in quote, to be that principal. So we were not taught what it means to actually be able to trade our talents. Now, that was a generation of the people who raised us. People who didn't understand fulfillment, they only survived. So they only survived. They couldn't leave. Our parents didn't leave. They didn't have the opportunity to leave. Now, they gave birth to us. And then they raised us in all of that. And I tell you the sad thing, we're even more confused than our parents. Why? Because when you sow a seed, what happens is that seed germinates and the fruits becomes a lot. So the multiplication strategy have even made it even more that we are now, what we are grappling with is a lot. Now, are we going to sit here today and blame our parents? If we do, then we will implode. I keep saying that this generation is the latest generation that can save Africa. Because if we don't stand up to what is happening, then we're going to lose Africa as a whole, as it is. And the only place to do that, to make it happen, is actually going back to the family system. The society is the product of the family. It's not the other way around. So people tell me, oh, Nigeria is bad. Oh, this is happening. Who are the leaders in Nigeria? Where do they come from? They come from homes. Who raised them? So when people argue, when you argue that we turned out okay, I'm fascinated by that. How did we become okay? What is okay about the system we run today? There's nothing okay about it. So we're not okay. And we need to get to a point where we agree and tell ourselves the truth, that there's something wrong with what have now become, so that we can deal with it intentionally. And that's why today I'm talking about the power of intentional parenting. I like the Bible a lot. And I teach from the Bible because I'm first a Christian. If you have a problem with the Bible, just look at it as a book for the purpose of this class. In Proverbs 24:3-4, it says, any enterprise is built by wisdom. It becomes strong through common sense and profits wonderfully by keeping abreast with facts. Wisdom. Bishop Febb was teaching and he said something. He said, there is information. Your children do not need you for any kind of information, and that's the truth. They don't need you. You're not that important when it comes to information. We are in the era of knowledge. I said something. Our parents were in the industrialized era. It has moved. We are now in the era of knowledge. You will jog. I know you're looking at me. You're wondering, what's she talking? Does she have children? I have 14-year-olds. 2, a set of twins. I'm not as young as I look. So that you also somewhere in your mind and you're thinking, who is she? What's she talking about? What does she know? A lot. Apart from the fact that I have been privileged to train parents all over the world in their thousands, I also have my own personal experience being a parent. And I say that what you need today to become a parent is not information, you need wisdom. That's what you trade in today's world, being a parent. And wisdom is not on the streets. You don't pick it on the streets. The Bible said that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of of our times. The reason we are unstable is because there is no wisdom and there is no knowledge in the true sense of it. It's Ecclesiastes that, this guy said that the journey of the foolish man wearieth him, all of them, because they do not know how to go to the city. There is a how. If your parenting is wearing you, you don't know the how. You don't know the how. Because if you don't know the how, you're going to get weary. The Bible talked about facts. It said keeping abreast of the fact. Are we keeping abreast of the fact of today? I was teaching the other day in the academy. We run an academy online called the Intentional Parents Academy. And I was teaching the parents and I said to them, your children now call you BBT. You know what that means? Born before technology. You do so, they say, you are BBT. You don't even know what's happening. You don't know because you have refused to pay attention and learn. I'm very techy. I have a son who is tech, as in his tech savviness is serving me. So I will not go and be sleeping. How? That time you're using to scroll on social media, it was commissioner that was talking. I was laughing. All that time, instead of you to use it to go and learn what it is that the tech system was. Collect change and pocket. And pocket it. We must come to the place where we are keeping our bro. How many of us know what is happening with the drug, system in Nigeria? Many of us, we don't even have an idea. 8-year-olds are getting addicted to cocaine. I live in Abuja, and I'm telling you for free that you get into schools, you see 8-year-olds with cocaine. Shebi, we throw money now. And then you have your child, who probably you cannot even buy cocaine every month. Go and get addicted. What do you think will happen? We're screaming, we're saying you need to stand up and learn. A lot of people are telling us, our parents, I'm sure many of us have said that. Our parents, what did they learn? You have moved. It's culturally unintelligent to say, in my time. It's one of the most stupid things I hear parents say. In my time. The person will not, my father is not coming back. A person will announce to my father. Right. Say that, they come off from that place. The thing is stuck. So what it means is they just do bam and the thing will just roll. You collect a certificate and then you finish and learn a particular type of typing. The child was 13. He said, Mom, I don't need to learn it. The mother was like, what do you mean? You are very arrogant. The guy said, I know how to do these things. You are the one that is not a GT. You are the one that needs to keep abreast. I changed my iPad recently. And our son came in, and I was like, there are some things I couldn't, do. All he needed to... My son just came like this. Mom, what do you need? Come, pia, pia, pia. Pa, pa, pa. This is how you do it. Years later, Abraham didn't have Isaac. Why? God needed Abraham to grow. The first thing you need to be an intentional parent is to grow. The Bible says that it means that you're raising another God. The first thing you require as an intentional parent is not to parent. Child is a product of who raised them, how they were raised, where they were raised, and what the person who raised them know. I keep humorously saying that if a Mark Zuckerberg was raised in Nigeria, he will not be a Mark Zuckerberg. Where you're raised is as important as everything. Your environment. Who raised you is very key. If the mother of Moses was not the person who raised Moses, Moses, you don't know it, you don't know it. I had the privilege of counseling a particular parent whose child was transitioning and tell us, it's not a Nigerian teen, it's abroad. It will shock you. Don't allow, these are your teenagers, don't allow them shock you. They will shock you to your bone marrow. And today, the child has been transitioning The rest are boarding. Unfortunately, they live abroad. So yes, there's a support system. I get a bit of Kisheka. You know, rich there. You know, rich. My gandus are no rich. You know, rich. Oh, my Ndaboski. You can't even, but then there is grace, which it takes me to the second point, knowledge. You need knowledge to parent in this time. And beyond knowledge, you need wisdom. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. One of those days, our son had come back from school. And he met me in the study. And he said, they're in boarding school. And he said, Mom, something happened. You know, Commissioner was talking about being able to actually have interaction with your children. Is here. That you do in your house. The greatest disaster we see in this generation is parents not knowing who they are, seeking naturally. And the tendency of a thrill stick. Our son had come. Our son is very sanguine. You know, who will like popping, lively, loves the... Oh, what's up? What's happening? What's popping? And you're like, you're supposed to be sober, guy. So I understand that that's the kind of person he is. So he loves fun. He loves to play. He likes the, you know, easy life. Sanguines love easy life. My son loves easy life. Soft life. For that kind of child, if you do not raise them up with responsibility, you are in trouble from day one. And he comes to me and he says, you know what? There's this particular game. My children don't play online games. No, we don't. There is a limit to the media access that we have. And that's one thing you must understand. Your children must have limit to media access. In your home, there has to be a media plan. If you're in the academy, you understand what I'm talking about. That's why knowledge transcends everything. You create a media plan. What must be done and what must not be done. You are the parent. You are not their friend. Friendship is a tool in parenting. It's not a relationship. When you become a friend, you blur the lines. And you're not able to actually become the person of instruction that you should be. That's who you are. So media must be created in such a way that everybody knows what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Your parenting must be predictable to the point that your children understand that if this is done in this house, is a no-no. That's how predictable my home is. You know what is wrong. I don't need to be shouting from down to bottom. No, why? And when you do it, you know the consequences of what is wrong. By the time he came to me, he said to me, Mom, people are playing this game. They were talking about it in school, everybody. So I felt like I was the only one not talking about it. You see all this? He say in response, many parents say, why can't you be the only one? Does it matter? Must you do what everybody's doing? Everybody is pressurized by their peers, including you. Including you. Every single one of us is pressurized by their peers. Now you need to position yourself, whether it's the positive peer influence or the negative one. If somebody invited you here, it's pressure now, it's peer pressure. You don't know. It's influence. That's what it is. It's just the positive part of it. So your child is compulsory to be pressurized. So they say, must you be there? When I was in your time, when I was in my time, nobody can tell me what to do. I am a man of my own. I'm a woman of my own. Well done, no? The child is going through something and requires that you apply wisdom in that time. What did I do? See, let me tell you the truth. At that point, all I wanted to do was, you don't know the family values? Yeah. Preacher, Ndaboski. I was going to start preaching. We have taught this. We have done this. But of course, with what I know, I was able to restrain myself. Knowledge positions you to actually gain authority on your parenting journey. It's not force. Authority is not force and control. Authority is trust and respect. If your child cannot trust you, if your child cannot respect you, you have lost authority over that child. So by the time he came to me, it means that he trusted me. If I say, why are you your mates are now influencing you, that means I have killed the trust. He trusted me to be able to be vulnerable to me in the times where he's feeling down. And I said, I caught myself and I said, son, let me tell you a story about me and my friends. They wanted me to buy a particular thing because we were going somewhere, and I don't have budget to actually buy that thing. But somehow I was going to fall for it. Everybody was just buying that. Coach, this is simple now. I tell you don't have money. It's pressure now. And I said, I almost did, but I came back and I remembered that, okay, this is not in my budget. Let me just, I was restrained. I said, when they wore it, I still came out with my own thing and I still popped. And there are things I have they don't have. And it's okay. I didn't say any other thing. And I said, anyway, if you want to try the game, we can go and look at it together online and see what its game is about. Since you're curious about it, let's go and look at it. He woke up the next day, came to me, and I asked him, do you still want to try the game? He said, no, ma'am, there's no need. I said, why? He said, because I understand that it's not about the game itself. I understand that this is, am I really ready to face the consequences if something goes? Talking about it and saying, top guy, can't stand it. They should bring on the heat. What did I do? I have built the confidence that he has in the thing that he knows without bringing him down. Without making him feel that making a mistake or being vulnerable is bad. Without making him think that if I want to do something that is wrong, it now makes me a bad person. It's the same thing we do. Your child comes to you and say, oh, there's this boy that's talking to me. You say, go and take fasting. Go and, you kabash on top of the child's head. What does that mean? It is a natural phenomenon. What happens is that when your child makes mistakes, another person, because human beings, you need skills. And I'm going to tell you the story and the skills that you have built. That guy earlier who was talking about photography, he learned that it's a skill. But he has used tech to now improve it. He now teaches online. He now, everything is all tech. What I do is parent coaching. But we're 100% online academy, 100% tech savvy. That's just you. Sometimes it's even your own ego. I saw somebody in the mall recently. She was walking in front. 4 of her children were dragging iPad behind her. She was all walking like this, like that. Stop my colleague. Having children who are socially awkward, who cannot interact in the social space. We're not having children who are unskilled with their emotions. Why? Because the screen is an illusion. It works up. There's a reason why the American Pediatrician Association said children less than 2. I had to be able to create an environment that was nurturing. Parenting is about nurturing. That's what it is. I hear you, fathers. I'm happy that there are a lot of fathers in here who are going to say, the man needs to actually, use that voice and make sure that that's not true. When you build a relationship with your children, you have a better result. A far more better result. Far more. The aim is to build a transformational family. Unfortunately, we're all coming from a transactional family. Come first, be well, I will love you. When you are making money and you give me, I will love you. It's transaction. We don't even love our children for who they are. We love the child that is performing better. I always ask parents, do you really love your child? They say, yes, I love you, I love my child. It's not true. Calm down. Think about it. The moment that child is behaving or making a mistake, that love is thrown away from the window. Your child you are loving, or is it the thing that the child is doing? And the moment you don't learn how to really love a child, you won't learn how to help the child. Discipline is about helping a child grow. It's not about destroying a child. It is destructive. If your discipline is noisy, you are destroying the seed. No seed grows with noise. None. Have you ever seen a seed? It's growing and it's making noise. No, it's when a tree is falling. That's when it makes noise. So that noise, this will be a take home for you. Anytime you want to do that, remember, there's something wrong. Discipline is not supposed to be noisy. I was teaching in the academy yesterday and I said, discipline is the most private part of parenting. The moment you need to discipline your child and everybody will be hailing you, is your ego you are treating, not teaching the child. Do my children misbehave a lot? But we understand that discipline is teaching. It's not tearing down. I don't need to tear you. Discipline is not criticism. It's connection, it's correction. I don't need to tear you down for me to actually make sure that you have learned. So we need the skills of how to even discipline our children. I was talking about emotional and mental health. It wasn't a thing when we were growing up. It's a thing today. You miss it. You're on the road to a child who you'll be hearing suicide. You'll be if you see how many cases of children cutting themselves we have. Cutting, self-harm. Children cutting themselves. One of our very big deacons in church, there was a program in church, and then the daughter comes and gives testimony that she was suicidal, and then God helped her. The thought went down. The guy couldn't believe it. My 13-year-old has been suicidal for 2 years. Most of your children are suicidal in their houses. But you're not hearing it because you're not connecting. What skills are you building? And I'm going to be ending with this. I had said the 5-generation rule. Parent raises their child. The love they give, the values they teach, the emotional environment they offer, the education they provide, influences, and not just by their children. And I'm going to prove it to you today before I leave, if that's the only thing I was able to get you to remember. Now, these contrasting legacies provide an example of what we call these 5-generation rules. Now, we're going to be studying the Edwards family, Jonathan Edward. You can Google him. 2 American families who lived in the same generation, and a study was done on them. Jonathan Edward and Max Jukes. Jonathan Edward was a preacher in the 1700s. He was one of the most respected preachers to this day. At the age of 13, and then went on to become the president, and eventually of Princeton College. He was the president of Princeton College. And eventually he married in 1727, and they were blessed with 11 children. Now, it was said that every night, Jonathan Edward in his home would spend an hour conversing with his family, praying a blessing over his children. Fathers, there's something that I teach in the academy, and I will talk about instructional order. The instructional order is given to fathers alone, not mothers, because you are the priest of the home. There is nowhere in the Bible where any woman was asked after any child. If you find, show me. I'm a Bible scholar. Nowhere. Every time a child went astray, a father was called upon. It's fathers that give instruction. The Bible said that the father will give instructions. Instructions are from you. Blessings come from you. So the instructional order is your order. And if you don't wake up every day as a father to bless your children, you do them a disservice. Because the prophecies your children will live are those blessings. They are the prophecies. They're the prophecies. And that's what it is that he need. So this man blessed his children every night, every night. Father, say every night. If you can't do night, do morning. My husband blesses our children every single day, morning. I hear him. Sometimes I'm even sleeping, it's in the night. He checks off. It is your responsibility. If there's nothing you get from here, go home, start by tomorrow, and start instructing and start blessing your children every night. And one of the things that happened to this American educator is that eventually they decided to trace his descendants. Now, at the time when they were deciding to trace his descendants, they found another person, Max Jukes, who was also an American, parent who lived in the same time that Jonathan Edwards lived. They found about 40 people bearing the Jukes name in the American prisons. So they wondered what exactly was happening. And that was what happened. So this came to people's attention when the family tree of 42 different men in New York prison system was traced back to him. So he lived in New York at about the same time Jonathan Edwards lived. So now this is what happened to the descendants. Jonathan Edwards had 13 college presidents, 65 college professors, 75 military officers, 80 public servants, 60 authors, 60 doctors, 30 judges, 100 pastors, 100 lawyers, 3 US senators, and 1 United States vice president. That's his lineage. The Jukes, Max Jukes, had 310 die as paupers, poor people. 150 criminals, 7 murderers, 10 were drunks, and 190 of them were prostitutes. I have shared this today to ask you, if someone studied your descendants to the 4th generation later when you are gone, what would they discover? What do you want them to discover? Do you want a Jonathan Edwards legacy, or do you want a Max Jukes legacy? You are your own legacy. Your child is not your legacy. The life you live today is your legacy. Max Jukes is the name. Max Jukes. Max Jukes. Jukes. Max. The other one is Jonathan Edwards. I don't know why this is. Jonathan Edwards. Jonathan Edwards. So this is a food for thought for you. I want you to think about it. What legacies am I leaving? The commissioner was talking about what you do, how you dress. And let me conclude by saying that parenting is war. How you fight is how you finish. Where you stop is where the next generation will start from. If not, tell me, why did Nehemiah fight the war, that he had no business fighting that war if Solomon did what was right? Why was Moses, a man who was called the most meek person on planet Earth, suffer with anger issues? Why? He was born into the lineage of the Levites, and what it means is that he suffered something, a war that his forefathers couldn't complete. What war are you living for your children to fight today? Fight a good war of faith so that your children will not have to fight tomorrow.
Can somebody really just stand up on your feet and say, thank you, Ma? Oh, please, everyone. Say, thank you, Ma. So much to learn. Please be seated. I don't know if you came with your books. Are they available? With an order? Okay, you have a distributor in this town. Okay, so by the time we are almost done, we are definitely going to tell you where and how to get them. Everybody, every parent here, guardian, teen mentor, you need to get this resource material so that you can learn further. Put your hands together again for the best coach you can meet. Wow. Media team, those who are on Zoom, are we ready to see them now? We know that this is a digital conference and there are so many people on YouTube as well as Zoom. We want to wave to those who are on Zoom. We want to say hello to them. We want to see their faces. We do not want them to feel like, oh, we do not acknowledge them or we're not seeing them. Are we ready? Are we good to go? Can we blow them kisses? Thank you so much for being here. We love you. We can see Nosayaba Idemudia. We wish you could see your face. Hello, Promise. Wow. Please put your hands together for them. Promise, thank you so much. We sincerely appreciate you. Omo Michael, thank you for being here. Let me call some few more names. Thank you, Amaka Rosabel. Thank you, Augustina. Thank you, Marian. Thank you, Mrs. Orima. I can see Oluyemi Grace, Ritz Osaige. Thank you so much. Lender's iPhone. That's not your name, obviously. Happiness. Thank you. Thank you so much. Titi Day Soji. Thank you so much. Motherhood. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Every other person who's joined and who will join, who's going to watch a replay, say thank you so much. Put your hands together for them. And one more time, blow them kisses. Blow them kisses. Thank you so much. Oh. Just imagine like Coach Chije was to charge you to pay for this conference. How much do you think you will pay? Be honest. Just say the truth. But you see the great value that's been dished out today. Please take it and run with it. We are not done with you yet. Say, my neighbor. Say, my neighbor. There's still more. There's still more. Okay. If there's something Coach Wendy said is you cannot influence your teenagers if you're not in their space. You can't. And most parents, to be honest, you're not in their space. You don't know what's going on with them. She said something and it made me laugh so hard because we're just sharing with our next speaker how, like how can you control somebody who was born into a digital phase of life? Like my 2-year-old will just pick my phone and she knows the difference between YouTube and YouTube Kids. Like just swipe. You know, it shocks me. Allow me to say like it busts my brain a little because I never showed that girl YouTube app, but she just goes and sweep. So I said, okay, so this one, I have to catch you early. Right? So parents, please, just the way our teenagers are moving fast, you also have to move. Do not be comfortable saying, I don't understand this one. Which one is this one again? Which one is this? No, you have to know this one again. No. Everything you have to learn. So please, let's also run fast, okay? Are we good to go? I have the honor today to also make welcome on stage to teach us on digital legal reality. Put your hands together for Barrister Dr. Elizabeth Iyamo Ojo, all the way from FIDA. Please do us a favor. Please stand up. Stand up, everyone. Put your hands together for her, bigger and better. As we make welcome Barrister Dr. Elizabeth Iyamo Ojo. Is that how you are clapping? Hey, hey. Thank you so much, ma. We're hoping to learn from you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. I have a slide somewhere. Please sit down. Firstly, let me say I have been wowed by all the speakers that have been here today. When I came in, I heard Elgale Akpobome speaking, and I said, wow. And then when the commissioner started speaking, I said, wow. I'm at a loss at what to say when I finished listening to Coach Wendy. What do I say? Suffice it to say that, yes, wow, 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 like an ambulance, right? Good. So we have quickly looked for you on Instagram so that we will follow. And at this point, I'm asking myself, of those things that they've said, I'll be saying something else entirely. I would love to have my slide up, but while we wait for it, I'll tell you this. A few days ago, about last week, I was scrolling through. I have seen all your details. I'm 22. And then the lady said, the young man, supposedly young man, committed all manner of criminal offenses. Imagine invading her privacy, accessing her data online, and then having the temerity to cross the borders and then go speak to her. What is he going to tell her? Can you imagine? If you can't imagine, I can imagine. So I'll be talking about child's rights and parental responsibility in a digital world. The reason why I can imagine what the man would be telling her is sometime in 1992, that was not even the digital era, right? I had a classmate, I was in school, I had a classmate whose father was my father's friend. And he would drive from where their house is and come to my house in the guise of coming to see my father. And then when we say my father is not at home, he will come inside. And then he will make overtures to me. We had a back door upstairs. And I would say, I'm coming. And I would quietly leave the back door and climb downstairs and wait for him to drive away with his Volkswagen car. That was 1992. Imagine the manner of things that he told me back then that would make me run away from my own house, right? So, next slide, please. This is what we are talking about today. And to do justice to this, we'll be looking at the introduction, what comprises the digital world, the challenges posed by the digital world, what rights do children have, the responsibilities of the parents, and then we'll look at the way forward and conclude. Next slide, please. So I already told you about Linda Ikeji's blog. We all know about Instagram and all manner of things that we see on Instagram. I think Instagram is actually very tame. Instagram is not too bad. But have you seen Likey? Oh my God, you haven't seen it. Google it. I was also scrolling on my phone when I stumbled on Likey. And if you get on Likey, you will see a whole lot of teenagers, females, Nigerians, almost going naked on Likey. Naked, not almost, naked. When I stumbled on it, I quickly closed it so that I don't go blind. It's real. And I told myself that the day I see any teenager that I know have a Likey page, it's finished for that child. That was for me. So, but despite all these things I'm talking about as regards social media, we also had COVID-19. And when we had COVID-19, we all had to stay at home. And then Edo State, in all its wisdom, developed what is called Edo Best, right? So when Edo Best came, we had to get our children phones so that they would study online, right? So it became a thing. Prior to that time, some schools, we call them the two schools, were already doing homework assignments on the net. But by this time, it was no longer about tush. It was now about everybody. Every child needed access to a phone, right? To do assignments. At the time, I had a ward with me, so I had to provide a phone so that she would do assignments online, and we would do it together. Now, let me distinguish myself from all the other speakers. You know, all these other speakers that have been talking, they've been talking about 22-year-old, 25-year-old, 26, 14-year-old, and then me. I have waited for mine for 16 years, or I waited for mine for 16 years. And as we speak, my first is, she'll be 9 months on Monday. So, while I do not have, thank you. While I do not have these experiences, I've had words, I've had people living with me whom I've had to interact with, and see, these stories are the same. So, what we find is that although the internet has benefits for education and socialization, however, there are privacy concerns, we have issues of cyberbullying, and we have potential harm attached to surfing the internet. But let's go to the next slide. First, let's ask ourselves, what do we mean when we are talking about this digital world? We are talking about the internet or the World Wide Web. We are talking about websites and online platforms. We are talking about social media. We are talking about digital communication. We are talking about e-commerce and online shopping. My younger sister told me the other day that that's how her son picked up her phone and ordered stuff online, only for her to see the goods arriving, and she was saying, when? Because your credit card is attached. So they are already online. So the next thing you see, you will just be surprised that your teenage daughter is ordering a dildo or whatever it is. You understand? Digital entertainment, we have search engines, smart devices, and Internet of Things, cloud computing, digital. This is the digital world. You see software, you see network, you see, it's a whole lot of things. So if you think that the digital world is just going to www. Your WhatsApp is a digital world. Do you understand? It's everywhere. So, next slide, please. We have a lot to grapple with. What are the challenges posed by the digital world? We have pornography, expects anymore to their parents or family members. They don't have time to say welcome daddy or good morning daddy. It doesn't happen. They are busy. We have privacy concerns. We have been inundated by information on the on social media. We have seen pictures of nudes of children. Sometimes these nudes do not even get on the internet by way of maybe the child doing something wrong. It might be something that maybe a child was violated or something, and then they put the video online, and you know, the internet never forgets. Whatever you put in there, that's why when we, as a lawyer, when we are doing issues that have to do with children, we remove this where they get initiated into cultism. They tell you, if you tell anybody, I'll come, I know your house, I'll come and kill your parents. And then the child is so scared, the child doesn't want to have the parents killed, so they join. So all these things are challenges that are posed by the digital world. Next slide, please. What rights do the children have? We have seen what these challenges are. But what rights do children really have? Despite the fact that they are children, it is worthy to note that the rights that accrue to you by virtue of Section 4, by virtue of Chapter 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, also applies to the children. The same way they say women's rights are human rights, children's rights are also human rights. So whatever rights you feel you have, those rights, the children have them too. Do you understand? Now, let's go aside from those rights that you already know you have. Let's come back to the children directly. The freedom of association and peaceful assembly is provided for in Section 6 of the Child's Rights Act 2003. Now, I would not be talking about international provisions, because the Child's Rights Act was actually domiciled in Nigeria. The United Nations Child's Rights Convention on the Rights of a Child has been domesticated in Nigeria as the Child's Rights Act 2003. And then each state has their own child's rights law. Now, they vary slightly. So the same provisions, these provisions apply to Nigeria because it's the Child's Rights Act domesticated in Nigeria. Each state has the similar provisions, but sometimes the sections might differ. But if you hold it and look through the index or the content, you will find it. Now, Section 6 talks about freedom of association and peaceful assembly. So if you as a parent has the right to associate with anybody physically, when we are talking about the digital world, we are also saying that our children have the right to associate and peacefully assemble. Do you understand? So while you are, when you have those rights offline, you also have those rights online. Then, Section 8 of the Child's Rights Act talks about the right to private and family life. So, a child has the right to enjoy the family life and has the right to privacy. We've talked about our privacy concerns, right? The child has the right to privacy. However, some of these children are put so fast into the face of social media, that they do not understand the nuances. They do not know what to do and what not to do. So, we are the ones that have the responsibility to teach them what is right and what is wrong. You have the right of freedom of movement. So even if you are moving physically, on the net you also move, right? You surf pages, you go. The child has that right too. Freedom of movement, online and offline, they have it. They have a right to dignity of the child. Now, you see this right. Okay, let me finish first. There's a right to dignity of the child in Section 11 of the Child's Rights Act 2003. There's a right to leisure, recreation, and cultural activities, Section 12 of the Child's Rights Act. There's a right to parental care, protection, and maintenance. That is Section 14 of the Child's Rights Act. And then there's a right of the child to free, compulsory, and universal primary education, etc., in Section 16 of the Child's Rights Act. Now, these rights I have mentioned, Section 8 and Section 9 have conditions attached to them. When you look at Section 8 of the Child's Rights Act that talks about the right to private and family life, by subsection 3, it now says, notwithstanding what has been said before, whatever rights the child has in this context, submit to the guidance of the parents. Do you understand? So, even if the child is saying, I have a right to my privacy, excuse me, your privacy is subject to me, your parents. It is what I call private that is private. As far as you are concerned, eventually we get there. As far as I'm concerned, my child does not have right to privacy as regards WhatsApp. Or I will clone the life out of that app. As you are chatting, I will be reading it. Because, yes, for my child, I will do that. Because if you read some of these rights, the section, the way it's even stated, it says the parents can gradually, we give you the rights as it affects your best interest of the child. You understand? So the parent can graduate it. So for instance, I decide to give you a phone, a WhatsApp phone for instance. When I give it to you, we have laid down rules, but I don't trust you enough. I will clone the life out of that app. And I will continue to follow what it is you are doing until you prove to me that I can trust you. If you prove to me that I can trust you, and then I can let go. I am not saying that takes the place of communication. It does not. You have to build the relationship with your child so that your child is able to communicate with you. That is sacrosanct. However, as you go along, it is until you build that or you make me know that I can trust you. That's when I will let you have that independence. Then this freedom of movement too, it's also abrogated. As in, it's limited. It's not total. So your parents can decide. As parents, you can decide you can go here. You can't go there. If you can do it physically, you can do it online. And it's necessary for you to take up the responsibility of doing these things online. It's not enough to give them the phone, hand it over to them, and then say, oh, they have right to privacy. Then, interestingly, Section 19 of the Child's Rights Act talks about responsibilities of a child and parents. Do children have responsibilities? Are you serious? What kind of responsibilities do they have? Obey their parents, yes. Beautiful. So if you go to section 19 of the Child's Rights Act, it's very explicit. They have responsibility to respect their family. They have the responsibility to ensure cohesion in the family space. Your child cannot be a tyrant, as in scattering. The child has a responsibility to ensure cohesion in the family. The child has a responsibility to ensure the morality of the society. You see those people that are unlucky, those children are unlucky. They are breaching this one, section 19. They have responsibilities to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not just their parents, not just their village, not just their society. They have a responsibility to portray Nigeria in a good light. Those ones there, they are criminals. They are breaching the Child's Rights Act. So every child has responsibilities towards his family and society. The Federal Republic of Nigeria and other legally recognized communities, nationally and internationally. It doesn't just stop here. So if your child is constituting a nuisance in the digital world, in the digital space, that child is committing a crime. There's a need for you to let that child know. But I haven't talked about these responsibilities of the child and parents. You said this and parents. How does this really apply to the parents? Next slide, please. So, the parents are expected by Section 20 of the Child's Rights Act to provide guidance with respect to the child's responsibilities. So, as parents, you can't just say, well, I've told my child that he has responsibilities to me, he has responsibilities to my family, my extended family, to my village, and then to the state or the country, and then you let go. It is your responsibility as parents to ensure that your child does those things they need to do and do not do those things they should not be doing. It is your responsibility. You can't check it. So every parent, every guardian, every institution, person and authority responsible for the care, maintenance and upbringing, education, whatever of a child has this responsibility. That's why the state stays in parents per tribe. The state is in local parentis to children. So if as a parent, you're not doing the right thing with your child, you're not training your child right, the state can actually take your child from you. Yes, we know these things happen in foreign countries, but it's in our laws. So it can also be done here at any point in time. You understand? So as parents, there is a necessity for us to fulfill our responsibilities. But how do we do that? Let's go to the next slide. How do we do that? I was talking about cloning my child's phone the other time. Some of you were laughing. There's a need for us to use parental control software. I was on Bing a few days ago, like about a week back, and I don't know what helped me, what made me check. And I found under the setting, I found parental control. You understand? So there was a day I was trying to generate an image on Bing. And when I was generating the image, I just said to generate parental controls that had been set. I tried and tried. I was saying, what is weird about this? I couldn't find it. So at the end of the day, I realized that Bing you can set your Google to have parental control. You can regularly check devices. You can establish clear rules and expectations. Coach Wendy mentioned about that. Establish it. If this happens, this is what will happen. It doesn't need to be flogging. But when you set clear boundaries, the children will know exactly what to do. There's also need to open communication channels. You also need to educate yourself on the app. There's so many trainings on Instagram. There's so many. I ran a training recently, last week, about 2 weeks back, I ran a training. I've done trainings where I teach children how to do Canva or use animation. And when I say I want to do this training, I put it on my WhatsApp status. Some parents are putting their children and saying, go and learn animation. Whatever it is, even cartoons that your children watch, don't let go. Watch the cartoons with them. I had a ward living with me at a point, and while she was with me, how many of you know Plotagon animation? 3D animation. So I was training on, I do those, during COVID-19, I had time, so I was doing those animations. I have an Instagram page on animations. And so when she was staying with me, I felt I should teach her these things. And I taught her. On Plotagon, you only have a peck as a kiss. That's all. And then this girl created an animation. I was happy she was learning. And I stumbled on the animation she created. And then it went, Jesus. And I said, really? Why? And it occurred to me that she was trying to simulate a French kiss. But she couldn't find a French kiss. So it went like that. And then the words that followed, oh my God, make me feel like a woman, was the cheapest of the words. Please, even if it's Coco Melon, watch it first before you let them watch it. So educate yourselves on apps and platforms. Teach online safety. In my service, we have been taught from the onset that if you are online and somebody says I'm online and I'm 14 years, it doesn't mean the person is actually 14 years. So teach them from the get-go that they should only accept persons they know physically. Otherwise, they might be endangering themselves. Set up parental alerts. If they go to this page, bam, you will know. Establish digital contracts. Is there. Just tell them, if you do this, you will not do, this is what will happen. There is a need for them to know. Now, if you look at this, yes, lead by example. A lot of times, people come to my house and they wonder why I'm watching Z World. And I say, yes, Z World is the safest I've ever seen. The man and the woman, they will get married on their wedding night. They will wear the wedding gown and everything. They will sleep on the bed. Nothing will happen. You will not see them, no kiss. Even music channels, I don't allow anybody watch in my house. Music channels, they are the worst. Home videos, our African home videos. You see, under the rights in section 20, I actually think that the state government should legislate on it and do something about these things. Because if we say we have a right to train our children, provide guidance, we can also tell these industries that what they are showing is absolute rubbish. I can't imagine I'm watching an African movie, culture, and then what they are showing there is there on the, no. So please, lead by example. Encourage safe online friendships and cultivate a community of friends with like minds. I have a friend that I have her children's phone. She has 5 children. Of the 5 children, it's only the middle one that has access to a phone that uses that one that she has access to. I watch him online. I see what he posts. If he posts something wrong, I can alert her and say, see what your child is doing online. That's what I mean when I say cultivate a community of friends with like minds. Thank you for listening.
All questions, yes, you will, you can, but just a second. Please sit down, everyone. Thank you so much. We know time is fast spent. We were supposed to have a proper panel session, but we do not want to keep you here because there's so much you can learn from the masterclass afterwards. So I'm going to be doing something briefly. For those who are on the panel session, I'm going to call you up. Just 2 minutes, rather than having a detailed discussion here, you're just going to come. Please bear with us, all our panelists. I know we're planning to sit and really have a proper discussion, but please do not bother. I'm going to call you here, just a minute or 2. You're going to hit the nail on the head for us. Every other thing that they need to know, we will definitely package for them. You know the way we do it in this order. Let me not do this winner style. In 1 minute, your name and what the Lord has done for you, right? Okay. But let me not do winner style, so I'll make it in 3 minutes. Just hit the nail on the head for us. I'm going to call the names. So after the person, I would not need to come up to introduce every other person. So I'll call the names straight. After Mr. A is done, Mr. B, please come next, and I'll take it up from there. Okay, so please, everyone, just keep your hands together, jamming until I call all the names because they've taken the Idubo. Thank you. Mr. Blackman, I've listened to the pronunciation of this surname for like 5 times, and I'm just still here. So Mr. Blackman, put your hands together for him. Mr. Charles Rex, Ogaga Omoive, thank you so much. and Ejiro Eze. I hope we are good. Okay, thank you, sir, for being here. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry if my voice is a little bit funny. This Hamatan is dealing with me seriously. This is a personal, should I call it? And what I found is that 5 to 6 in every 10 males you meet today, I don't want to say females, 5 to 6 in every 10 males you meet today, they are either already into fraud or planning to get into it. Why? Money. Okay? Before, I used to blame, before I was anybody that is doing Yahoo or is into fraud, they are useless, it's greed and all that. But over time, because of poverty, I don't say that too much again, but it's still not a yardstick to go into fraud. Because what's the need, okay, making money and then having to look over your shoulders for the rest of your life? Okay? So, the truth is that there's a better way. There's a better way. My name is Lucas Idubo, and me standing here before you, I have over 4 different ways. There was a story I was going to share, but no time. I have over 4 different ways which I earn. And the 4 of them are all in dollars, the 4. I'm a crypto trader. I'm a forex trader. I design and animate too. I also work with, there's this stuff I gave to the media guy that is supposed to display here. But our profile. I work with a foreign crypto company based in Sweden. So, and all of these skills and all that, they are available to every single one of us. There's no need for Yahoo. That's the truth. There's no need. You can, although the only thing I would say is that it can be hard and technical to learn. Okay, you may need to spend time, weeks, months learning. But the truth is that with time, with the right person teaching you, you start earning in dollars. As I'm here standing with my phone right now, I just checked my app just now. I've made thousands of dollars sitting there. Just sitting there. So there is no need. There is no need. I remember when my mom was that time, she would tell me, wine, I'm scared though. I'm scared. To find one skill, if it's all these PVC or something to do, I tell her, Mommy, I'm not interested though. I'm not interested. She said, you're always on your phone, tapping, you're always on your phone. I said, don't worry, leave me, I know what I'm doing. She would say she wants to see what I'm doing. I said, okay, Sid, have you seen it? See this chart, see this design I'm trying to learn. She would say, okay, continue. Today, she's the one enjoying all the alerts. Today. And she usually tell me, wine, thank God I didn't listen to you. I mean, thank God you didn't listen to me, sorry, that time. So, please, and one important thing I would say is, please, parents, invest in your children, please. The truth is that it's not just education, that's school, 4 words that you have to put money in. You must put money in skills. In 2014, my mom paid for me to go to, there's this computer training school here in Benin. She paid a whole lot of money for me to learn computer, and I was one of the best graduating students from that computer school. And today, this is the effect of it. This is the effect of it. She paid a whole lot, and today now she's getting all the returns, receiving alerts back to back. So please, invest in your children. When you hear about skills that can, high-paying global skills that can change your life, please, don't run away from it. Invest in it. So that maybe some weeks or some months from now, you two start receiving your own alerts. Good news. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Everything he said reflected in the perfume he's wearing. Really, you need to stand close to him. Thank you so much. God bless you. Mr. Blackman.
My name is Ike Remolin Blackman. Ike Remolin Blackman. All right. So that's my upcoming book, Why Your Child is Failing in School and How to Stop It. I'm the CEO of Rapid Learning Academy. So basically what I'm saying on my shirt is true. So if you had to ask me what I do, I'll tell you this is what I do. I feel it's unnecessary for children to spend 6 years of their lives in school. All right? Unnecessary. Not that they should not be learning something, but I believe that the curriculum, the 6-year curriculum that we have in the secondary school level right now can be compressed to less than a year. So last year, a mom sent the child to me. The child just failed his WAEC exam, and he had an F9 in maths and economics, all right? And by that time, the guy had less than 6 months to the next WAEC exam, and he wanted to come in, apply for his JAM. So I had to assess him, and I found out that he had not even learned anything from the junior secondary school, so there was no foundation anyway. So it meant that I had less than 6 months to teach him from GSS 1. It would have been an A1. What am I saying? Imagine a world where instead of spending 6 years in school learning things that are obsolete, for some of our parents here, we don't know yet that the job market is different. All right? So you should expect your children to be changing their careers, transitioning from one industry to the other, in maybe in little time spaces, time intervals as little as 2 years or 3. Does that make sense to you? Now, how are you going to put these children into a learning environment where they get to learn something that they are not going to use, like many persons can testify here, all right? How about that time? You chunk it out. Teach them what they need to learn, core skills of education, arithmetic, how to articulate, communicate, how to articulate their thoughts, and give them the real skills that are needed using the remaining 5 years of their time. And so if you want someone to help you do that, that's where I get to come in. All right? That's where I get to come in. So you're having problems with reading, you don't like to read. I could get to triple anybody's reading speed and comprehension, triple it in less than an hour, and increase your comprehension and retention of information you've learned by. All right? Anyone here? Okay, all right, come on, let's go. We have some minutes. Let's make it 2. Please clap for her. Yeah, let's do this. All right. No, just come, walk up. Say hi, please. Let's make it easier for her. All right, so what's the issue? What issue would you want me to tweak a bit?
What issue do I?
Yeah, in learning. Okay, let me help here. Man, it's so much, but let me help. Let's try. This is not really true, but let it be contextual. All right. Let's try to divide the learning process into 3. Encoding. All right. So encoding is when they bring something new you've never learned before, and you're trying to, in psychology, it's called you're trying to put it in a representational system that you can get. All right. You have encoding, you have retaining. In other words, retaining is that you've gotten it in, it's there. Then you have recalling. Recalling means that without any kind of prompt or hint, you can bring it out. Recalling is different from recognition, but we don't have that time. All right, so you could be having problems with taking it in. Okay, that's under echo. Okay, what do you want to learn? That will depend on you. Okay, I think you didn't get me. So let me ask the question. Right. Thank you. Let me ask the question right. Is there anybody here? Okay, let me contextualize it. Is there anybody here? No, it could still be you. Come. Is there anybody here that has problems with reading? Anyone? Reading, you find reading boring? Anyone? Most times. Okay, I'm having a hand up. Any other person finding reading boring? She? Okay. School books? Okay. Anyone finding, we are getting specific now. Anyone finding school books boring? Anybody? Okay, many persons. Okay. Now, it's just that there's no book here. So I want you to try something. Now, let's go through this line of taking the thoughts of that author, all right, the person that is writing the book. Instead of reading the thoughts of the person back to yourself, I want you to convert it to your own normal vocabulary. Because what's happening is that the author has a thought line or pattern from which he's writing from that's totally different from your own. So you're getting, this is just a very simple trick. You could try it and, go home and check and see what happens. So for instance, let's imagine that the man is saying, my normal proclivity, you get a picture, and you just simply say, my normal inclination. You turn it to something that is yours. If you can just simply rescript what you are getting from the reading process, it becomes something easier that your brain normally just likes to do. You get a picture? But this is so much to just chunk into in so less than 5 minutes. So please come around for the master class. Thank you.
You know when you see somebody with so much book, right? Book is booking him, right? Thank you so much. Can we have Mr. Charles Rex now? Put your hands together. So much. Everything we are doing here is just a tip of the iceberg, believe me.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm not here to sell anything, don't worry. I did not come to sell anything. My name is Rex Charles. I'm the director for training and programs for Victor Waifo Creative Hub. Welcome to Victor Waifo Creative Hub. This is my office, and thank you. Yeah, so I'm here to ask questions. Can everybody hear me? I'm here to ask questions because for over a decade, I have worked with parents, I have worked with teenagers, and I've worked with children, usually from 8 years to 17 years. And the truth is, sometimes parents contribute to their children's situation.
Build their social life and their future, so you can help them build confidence and resilience. So when Coach Wendy was talking about her child that had confidence and resilience, when she talked about the game, and she asked the son the next day, do you still want to do it? And the boy talked about, no, I have confidence, I can stand them. Those are the things you help instill in your child when you understand psychology of the child and the teenager. You will instill that confidence and you will instill resilience in the children. So thank you. My time is very brief. I hope I've been able to share something. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Last but not the least.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, stand up. Thank you so much. Please sit down. Thank you so much. It's so nice to be here again on this stage, the second time. Coach TJ, thank you so much. I think I have 5 minutes. So much to say. 4 minutes gone, 1 minute gone. Coach Wendy, thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you, thank you. So, my classmate, my senior, my friend, Dr. Iyamu, good to see you. My name is Ogaga Omovi. I am a teacher by call and a lawyer by training. And what do I do, basically? I help schools get structured. And I discovered that a number of schools do not have structures. A number of schools just run. There are no systems, there are no structures. And so when I left Uniben in 2007, I asked myself, what do you do yourself? If you have listened to my TED Talk, you see that was the core of my TED Talk. And so when I sit with schools, I help them see that leadership is key. If children are not learning, more often than not.
If you know you came midway, say hi. The Lord is your portion. I feel so excited. The comments I've been hearing. I know a lot of parents were saying, oh, school runs and they have been leaving one. Can I follow? How can I do this? How can I do all that? And I was saying, this is that day you wish there was no school run. Yes. You know, after listening to all the speakers and then about the Lord that you really didn't know. Yeah, and you want to learn more, right? So this is what is going to happen after now. This event was not really meant to solve your problem. Yes. Today's event was to help show you that you really have problem. See is that we need to be on our toes. Yeah, wait, I'm not talking about others. I'm talking about myself first. When I get to your turn, you can shout. I'm saying that I've been here for 25 everything. That is the day you're death. So, apart from Yadas, put your hands down. Other parents, raise your hand. Let me ask you, madam, who taught you parenting? Their parents. Parents to the parents. What exactly were they teaching that you learned? I need you guys to think about the side of parenting, which like by default you know what to do. And that's why animals can take care of other baby animals to give birth to. It's innate. God created it like that. But parenting is also a skill that you develop. And it's very dangerous when you take a gift and you don't work on it. Nobody will pay you for having a gift, but people will pay you for the skill you can exhibit. And for you to exhibit a skill, there need to be series of training. Parenting Academy stands there at 9 if they know to you. But beyond that, now it's called a workshop, and this is not certainly a workshop. Okay, this is the introduction to the workshop. So the workshop is going to start like a master class where we'll now be teaching you practically how to use technology to parent better. We'll walk you through the corridors of ensuring that you are rightly engaging your children with technology. You know where they are going. You know how to get their digital footprints. We're bringing speed learning into that. We're bringing learning how to do crypto. How many of you have ever made money on the blockchain with any cryptocurrency? Let me see your hands. We are going to deliver a failed generation. One, like she mentioned today, our parents actually, they tried their best, but they delivered a failed system to us. And what we are doing subconsciously is amplifying the failure and giving it to the next generation. So things won't get better no matter how hard we pray until we start. You know, switching a little bit as a Christian into my core belief. God would have spoken his word from heaven and things would have changed. After all, he said, let there be, and there was, right? Right? But he sent Jesus. He had to do something, and that was sacrificial. So if we do not do something sacrificial, our prayers are useless. So we need to ensure that we become ambassadors of driving the narration of being intentional parents, driving the narration of being parents who are aware, informed, and digital. Yes, rightly digital. Driving the narrative so that we can raise digitally responsible, productive, and save children. How many of you would say, I will be an ambassador for this? Thank you very much. Yes, heaven has seen you, and heaven will certainly reward you. To those who followed online,